gentlemen, ladies and 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 gentlemen. Hey, people, beautiful people, watching from different parts of the world. Oh, it's your regular Sunday program, and you're welcome to today's edition. My name is Wicom, and of course, like you all know, it's our live conversation where we have beautiful topics where we treat you trash on weekly basis. Please, all of you who are coming in, you're very much welcome. This is your favorite podcast. This is your favorite show where we discuss everything and we talk about different opinions and handling different aspects of life itself. Please stay right there, go nowhere, because today it's going to be very, very, very amazing. And we have amazing people already that are connected. Now, I'm not going to waste much of your time. Please, those of you who are coming in, let us know where you're watching us from. Today, we're going to be having a very boiling topic. I call this a boiling topic because there are lots and lots of people that are very interested in this topic. And they have been on my inbox and asking lots and lots of questions since the flyer of this edition came out. We have amazing people. We have wonderful, beautiful ladies. We have cute gentlemen and loaded gentlemen, which will be having this conversation together. I want to send this big shout out to Victoria Shaviva. Victoria Shaviva, hope you're doing okay. Good evening to you. Good evening. Happy Sunday, Victoria Shaviva. I see Akum Angel. Happy Sunday, Akum Angel. Please, as you come in, you know the tradition is very simple. As you come in, you share. Keep sharing so we have a good number of people watching. Definitely, mobilization is the fun part of it. But keep sharing so that you can bless somebody, principally because somebody is going to learn from this podcast. Like you all already know it, we have wonderful people and we have more coming. I see some wonderful gentlemen backstage, the ones you love and the ones you're going to love. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Pastor Azeye on the podcast. Hi, Azeye. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Emmanuel. And you, how you doing?
I'm okay. Thanks so much. I'm doing great. And you're glad to have you on the show today.
Me too. Glad. Hi, everybody. You know, Emmanuel come a long way.
For sure. I see another one of your favorite. Yeah. I see one of your favorite backstage. You know, when he's around, it's always wisdom back to back and strict knowledge. We have Chef Daway in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Chef Daway.
Good evening, beautiful people. Good evening, Good evening, Pastor Azeye.
Hi, Chef. How are you doing?
No, I'm doing super good.
Nice.
All right.
I'm still in my while. Good.
Glad to have you, Chef Daway. How you doing today?
All good as usual. Always good.
Wow, superb.
Yeah, I got this kaftan on with my Chef Daway brand on it. It's
oh yeah. I can see that clearly written. So beautiful. I like the way you carve it on different attires. There was one I saw on the Afritude. I mean, it was so dope. There was one I saw on the headphone. It was so dope. I saw one on the t-shirt. Man, this is that the thing sweet now.
I tell you,
all right, glad to have you on. I just want to say, yeah, we see Ella Bling, we see Emma Square. Good evening, Emma Square. Good evening, Ella Bling. Victoria Shaviva sending one greetings. Thank you, Emma Square, Ella Bling. I see Kevin Blessing. Kevin Blessing, you're very much welcome. Please, those of you who are coming in, do your best to share the broadcast. Share to as many people as possible. So we have a good number of people watching this live. Because today, it go like how I know we do anyhow. We box up enter pigeon for all balance. All right. Before going deep, today we're going to be talking about a question topic, like the question mark kind of topic is marriage and achievement. And this is one thing that many people, you see, if you come across, if you look at our life, especially in Africa, we notice that lots of things are going on and going wrong and going correct at the same time. Simply because we try to place things where they are supposed to be and we place them where they're not supposed to be. Now, people are happily getting married, while some others are happily getting married and after all they become sad. While some others can do everything to become married. The whole marriage thing. A friend of mine said at one point, like he said, So the hold the life. So I just can't live the life. So if you can't find some one man more the jam one thing, then they do an I'm like, bro, it just depend on if they are all achievement, that's it. So getting to this kind of topic, a lot of people are boiling. Before I proceed further, I see our wonderful, glamorous, beautiful, ever glowing, and very eloquent. I must process on this eloquence. Coach B backstage. I think if she's ready, I can bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Coach B. Hi, Coach B.
Hi everyone. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday,
Coach
Coach
B,
B.
welcome.
How are you doing today? You're all glowing.
Thank you. That's kind of you. Nice to meet you, Pastor
All right.
Azay.
Live. Yes,
Azay.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So,
Hi,
Coach B,
Chef
when you
Dawai.
came in, as you're coming in,
Hey,
we're just about to
hello,
introduce.
Acknowledge you.
Tracy.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Is Chef
I'm
there?
good, thank you.
Network is very interested.
Oh gosh. Is he frozen?
Mm.
I guess he is.
The network don't work.
Go up and let him pass.
Wycombe is good. So while we wait for him to come, we can be throwing some light on the topic. We're here today to talk on the topic is marriage an achievement? Yeah, so before we proceed, we would like to define terms like Coach B mentioned in the group. So it will be worldwide for us to define marriage. And the next thing we move on to achievement. So
Yes.
on the part of marriage, I give the floor to Pastor Azay. Yeah, for you
Okay.
to tell us what you know about marriage.
All right. Thank you for this privilege. So, firstly, I'd say marriage is a commitment of two people coming together for a particular reason, a particular purpose. Because we could get married to anybody actually, but it really matters to who you get married to, because it's not like one person was predestined or designed to be a person's husband, a person's wife. But it's when two people have come to understand that they relate to each other in terms, first of all, of temperaments, in terms of goals and achievements and stuff like that. So marriage is, it's, although it's not just limited to the fact about temperament and stuff, there's also a spiritual implication to marriage, which that stems to the development of, or coming through to a vision that people could have. So that's what I would basically say marriage could be. The marriage is really beyond that alone. So, but I think as time is going on, we'll get to understand better from examples and from circumstances that we shall share on what marriage is really and if it's actually an achievement or not. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
okay. I'll pass the floor back to Wycombe. I think his network is kind
Yeah.
of stable.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
before
So
you
much.
disappeared, I asked Pastor Isaiah to define marriage, and we
Yeah.
have to equally define achievement. So you can take it from there.
Yeah, I think that was a sharp one. That was the same question I was going to ask. The network is very interesting because my regular supply, which I'm using previously, that's Yumi, is not available. So I'm back. I'm bound to come back to our normal MTN. Yeah, but hopefully it goes on smoothly. Now,
Yeah.
it's always good to establish this start point with us understanding what marriage is, because understanding what it is going to better help us place to place it if it's an achievement or not. Coach
Yeah.
B, I don't know. Do you have anything to add as far as what marriage is? Can you define marriage, or the definition is okay? It's clear enough.
I think yes. What Pastor said is. Can you hear me?
5 on 5. I hear you.
Yeah,
5
I
on
felt
5.
like I
Yes.
was getting some feedback. So what Pastor said is spot on. I think the only thing I want to add is the fact that it's a willful companionship. So the people that get into it out of their will. So they shouldn't be when it's something that was forced, then it's no longer considered a willful union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on the spiritual side, I think
All right.
marriage
Okay,
goes
I get.
beyond.
Now, let's just dive deep into the topic. I see some people are already boiling, and some are in my inbox. I have some people in my inbox. Please, those of you in my inbox who are watching this show, drop your comments. Drop.
I think there's a network lag.
Yeah. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I just want to drop something on the spiritual side of marriage. It goes beyond
Can you all hear me?
the vows we take at the civil
Can you hear me?
registrar.
All right. Okay. The
Yeah,
network
we
is
can
very.
hear you. I think.
Yeah, Chef, you're back. You can write on.
Okay, so I was talking about
Yes.
the spiritual side of marriage. It goes beyond the vows you take in front
Yeah,
of
Chef, you
the
can fire
mayor
on.
and the civil registrar. It goes it goes beyond the vows you take in front of the church with everyone present. The spiritual side of it, marriage is when two people, a man and a woman, they meet sexually. They become one. They become one and they exchange equally in every other aspect. Now, what we know, the definition we know, like marriage, the common definition, two people coming together willfully, just like Coach B put it. Um, yeah, that goes as well. But we'll look at both sides, the spiritual and the physical. Yeah, in the course of this conversation.
Amazing.
Yeah, really important.
Mhm. Welcome. That network will show you better today.
Yeah. The network is very interesting. It's either disturbing this way or disturbing on Chef's side, but I think we're just going to cope and figure out how it goes.
Is my own also disturbing?
No, it's
Coach
from
B, is my own also disturbing?
It's from you. It's from you.
Chef,
It's
you're
from you,
okay.
Mr. Wicom.
From me.
Oh, it's from me. It's from me.
Yes,
Yes, I'm good.
All right.
good.
Okay. But Chef's network is okay. All right. Okay. I want us to just dive deep into the topic right now. What do we think, Pastor Azeye, is marriage an achievement?
Yes, sir. All right. So you see, the term achievement itself is a very big word because achievement is looked upon different spheres of life. So
Yes.
achievement, first of all, will make us think about a term called goals.
Yeah.
So what is a goal? A goal is something we are aiming for. It's something we want to acquire. It's a place we want to get, destination we want to arrive at. So that's why we say trying to achieve a particular goal. Now, is marriage an achievement? It all determines or depends on if the person thinks that marriage is the end of his life, is the thing that will satisfy his life. Now, if someone takes marriage to be a challenge in his life, takes marriage to be something like the end of his life, because goals are the places we want to land. As he sees marriage to be the end of his life, then that person is greatly mistaken, because you would never fully or fulfill your life by getting married. Marriage is just a stage, a step. It's one of the stages in life that everybody takes, and it cannot be considered as a goal. I'm not trying to say marriage is not important in someone's life. Marriage is something very important, but if you have to stem your life as that marriage is an achievement, then you're making a very big mistake. So, with that is my stand about marriage being an achievement. But nonetheless, without wanting to monopolize the speech, I'll let my friends, Coach B, Chef, to be able to also give their own introduction to this topic.
before coming to Coach B, I think, Chef, what do you think? Is marriage an achievement?
Well, Pastor Isaiah has touched most of what I had to say, but I just want to go a little bit deeper to say marriage is relative. Being an achievement, it depends on people. But we actually living in that generation where we've been taught a lot of myths. A lot of myths. What do I mean by myths? We no longer think collectively. We no longer think about humanity. Most of us think about, I will not use us or just all, I will just say me. Most of us think about me. We are limited, and most often than not, we get to use the personal pronouns I, mine, and stuff like that. So if we want to talk about marriage being an achievement from personal level, I would say it's relative. But if you're actually someone who is here with a purpose for humanity, marriage is definitely an achievement for such a person. Because when we were created, we were commanded by our Creator to go and multiply and subdue the earth. And marriage is that only institution that ensures the healthy continuation of the human species. Why do I use the word healthy? Because out of marriage, you can still have children, and you can still have children out of marriage, and that likewise will ensure the continuation of the human species. But now, coming to put the word healthy in it, you have two people, a man and a woman. To the kids, they are actually a mother and a father working together to ensure that they raise a very firm family. And we all know there's no society without family. It all starts with the family unit, and a very strong and firm family unit ensures a strong community, ensures a strong society. So, in that light, to everyone who is here for humanity,
I think it's frozen.
yes.
Wow.
So, like
beautiful,
Pastor Isaiah said, achievements can be defined as successes. Successes you've been able to attain, the milestones you've set for yourself and attain them at a certain point in time in your life. So that could be looked upon as achievement. It could be a career. It could be anything that you set your target, the things you want to achieve, right? But on this scale of preference, on this particular scale, there should be some priorities, because when we talk about career, each and every one of us, we go out there to work our bones. We work so hard. Most of us, I would say most of us, we do that. We want these careers for family.
Yeah.
If we didn't have kids, if we didn't have siblings, if we didn't have people we are looking up to, if we were not thinking about society, we actually will not be working as much as we do. If we're just here about ourselves, thinking about a fulfilling career and buying a new car, building a new house, and stuff like that, then it will not be that serious. But we are actually here to fulfill that tax that was given up to us from from the time of creation. Go and multiply and subdue the earth. And a man is supposed to leave his family. You're setting that as your target. You're setting that as a milestone you need to achieve. Just like you make plans to buy a car, you make plans to build a house, you work, you go to school to finally become a career person. All of those are achievements. But on a scale of preference, like me, like personally, Marriage stands at the top of it. Marriage stands at the top of it. And it's not any kind of marriage. It's not just to meet any kind of person. Because if you finally get married to the wrong person, you've not achieved anything. So it's actually an umbrella that you need to put a lot of things together. And at the end of the day, if you successfully find that right person, the one who agrees to work with you based on your principles and standards, then if it eventually leads to marriage, then marriage is an achievement. Now, if you want to look at it from, because I know this topic is coming from what Nora Brown wrote on Facebook. Yeah, so if we want to look at it from her perspective, um, there are a lot of bitter people out there, a lot of bitter aunties and stuff. They just want to transfer their bitterness into young girls who do not have their own priorities set for them or things going for them. So we need to be very careful when we want to analyze this. Yeah, from her point of view, a career-oriented woman, marriage, according to her, is not an achievement. But you look at it, you want to look at it, look at her relationships and stuff, you know, that is not just coming from nowhere. It's coming from her personal experiences with men, and now she's at that position where she can use her achievements in other areas, other fields in life to try to bring down the institution of marriage. It's not about a man, it's not about a woman. If we are talking about marriage, we are talking about that institution of holy matrimony. That's what we are talking about. So you will not take your failed experience, you will not take that and then you try to rubbish the institution as a whole. Yeah, that's my take on it.
That's I think that was elaborate enough. You gave in the right details and full details. Now coming to our one of your favorite, definitely eloquent and beautiful Coach B. Coach B, what do you think? Is marriage an achievement?
That's a very interesting phrase, and I see so many people are looking forward to where we're going to land today. So, but what I'll say first of all is I believe an achievement is something you accomplish based on some effort that you put in it. So
Yeah.
if you call something an achievement at the end of the day, it means it's a milestone, it's an accomplishment, and you
Yeah.
must have put in some work to be able to get that kind of outcome you're looking for.
For sure.
So saying that marriage is an achievement, what I'll say is people do not understand the journey of marriage end to end at the mere moment when they engage in a marriage. So when you decide to pick a wife, the Bible says, "He that finds a wife findeth a good thing." It's a good
And
thing. But when the two of you come together, are you going to be a good thing? That's what matters. So you're bringing this wife into a union. What is it that you are bringing in? The two will have to blend to be able to call it a good accomplishment. So I'll start by saying that a good marriage, a fulfilled marriage, is an achievement. But marriage by itself is not an achievement. Marriage is not just a milestone. It's the beginning of the journey, and the journey has a long way to go. So for you to be able to call it an achievement, and that's why when we have marriage counseling events, we bring out the couples that have lived the longest, and that we think that these couples have lived a beautiful life. We're bringing them in because we think their marriage is an example of an achievement, and they can tell us how they've been able to get that achievement. But the moment you're marrying someone, you cannot call it an achievement, because if I look at what one of our favorite African authors, Chimamanda, wrote about marriage being an accomplishment, we are being we are conditioned in Africa. The young girl grows with the intention that they will end up in a marriage. But the young boys are not groomed in that way. So at the end of the day, two people that are moving or have two different conceptions about marriage come together. So there's a lot of learning that has to happen throughout that marriage until when they will be able to call it a beautiful accomplishment or a beautiful achievement. So I will not call, I've tried so many business endeavors in my life, but I think the one that I call an achievement is the one that has been successful.
Thank you very
Wow.
much. That's
That's
amazing.
Now,
amazing.
now, coach, let me ask you this question. Now, well, if we look at it on the route, then we would say marriage is partially an achievement, or it's not an achievement at all. I want us to place it. I want us to have, because the responses are very eloquent, beautiful, but at the end of the day, we are in the middle like
Listen,
that. Now,
No,
let me
I
see
can
this.
say it in a very short phrase. A good marriage is an
Oh my
achievement.
God.
Marriage entirely, marriage is not an
Yeah.
achievement, but a good marriage is an
I
achievement.
think
That's how I put
I
it.
think marriage becomes an achievement once it's at the end of it.
There you
It's
go.
you see, you cannot say you've achieved something
Okay,
unless
Pastor Isaiah, you wanted
you
to
reap
say something?
you reap of the products.
Yes.
So
The,
the
the end
marriage
of
is a journey. It's
marriage,
a, yes,
When you're, let me not say maybe not just the end of it, because when we say the end of it, people might misunderstand that. What we're
yeah,
saying
yeah,
is, like, as you go through the journey of at some point in that marriage, you can call it an achievement, meaning the marriage,
mhm,
it started, yeah, we were learning. We all hear the
yes,
phrase that marriage is the only institution you get a certificate even before starting the school. So it's
hmm,
like, what do you call an achievement when you go to school? When you get a certificate, you call it an achievement. I got an award, I call it an achievement. It's at the end of the journey. So with marriage, once you've been in that marriage, you are walking in the same direction, you understand each other's vision, you are accomplish all the things you desired in that marriage. At some
hmm,
point, you're going to call it an achievement and you're able to talk about it freely. But when you're
yeah,
on that journey of self-discovery, you're trying to know your partner, you two are blending your vision, you're learning, you're bringing forth kids, you're learning how to bring up those kids, you're doing businesses together. You cannot really call it an achievement at that moment until when you
Okay.
hmm,
get to that fine spot.
All right.
So
I,
not
get- I get
getting to that fine spot. Mhm.
I get a point swiftly. I want to say welcome to everybody who is coming in. Grand Casera, see you. This extra P all the way from Bundes. I see Alobede Faithful and your bright. In fact, all of you coming in, you're very much welcome. Funkai Strange, you're welcome. Now, let's coin this very well. I want to ask this question, Coach B. If marriage is an achievement that is built and which cannot be determined from the initial day of the wedding, why then do we have congratulating messages and everybody like congratulations when you're getting married? Usually we
you're a very
know
sneaky guy, man.
for achieving something. So why do we congratulate people when they get married?
Yeah, I believe that if I tell someone congratulations, I'm congratulating you for taking that step. I'm not congratulating you for achieving it. I'm congratulating you for being bold enough for making that decision to go in that direction. So it's like someone is just maybe found a stone, like how do they call it? Where they put a pillar stone somewhere. They've not built the building completely. The building has not been built, but there's a plot of land and they are putting a foundation stone. So when
Yeah, but
I go there, I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Yeah, you're right on, right on. Sorry.
Yeah, you when the cutting of the ribbon, there are congratulations. What we're congratulating is that the project has not been completed. However, this is the beginning of the project. So our congratulations are like encouragements. Go ahead, go forth, and do your best in this decision that you've made. I don't know if others congratulate for the fact that it's an achievement, but that's my understanding of the congratulation, because nobody knows the school of marriage until we get on the journey.
Oh, I wanted to ask Pastor Isaiah if he has the same thing, but his network is interesting. That's part of Cameroon. Now, Coach B, putting a foundation stone is an
I'm
achievement at
here.
one
I'm
point.
here. I just
Okay,
paused my
you just
thing.
turn up the cam. Okay, chef, uh, do we call it an achievement, and why the congratulatory, why the congratulating messages and all the congratulation when people are getting married? What do you think? What do you have to say on this?
So, like I said, it's relative. It varies from person to person. So, what will make marriage an achievement is not longevity, how long you stay in it. You can be married for 20 years and that still wouldn't be considered an achievement. The product of the marriage determines if the marriage is an achievement or not. Your milestones you've set and how you go about it. Just like Coach B said, okay, people coming to congratulate you, they're just telling you you've taken a good step in that direction. Continue. So you have to keep facing the challenges every day, just like you set your milestone to build a company. Now going to register the company, you get your certificate of incorporation and stuff, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean you've
Mm-hmm.
not achieved anything. At the end of the day, you had products that you want to produce. If you successfully penetrate the market with your
Oh,
product, you're making sales and you're having ROI, return on investment, then you've successfully achieved something. It's the same thing for marriage. So the products of marriage are actually the kids. So you cannot bring thieves into the society and you tell me you've stayed 20 years in marriage and you call that an achievement. It's definitely not an achievement. A
all
single
right.
mom, a single mom who raises her child, where and that child how to
Wow,
raise kids
the
because
network in
the
Cameroon
end of
is.
the day, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Chef.
I can hear you now, sure.
Yeah.
I can
So
hear
at
you,
the end
sure.
of the day, if you want to look at the way we used to look at it, the way we used to look at it before, you just look at the family, you look at the kids, how they are growing. A father will come and betroth the son to a daughter to that family. Just the way they see how the kids are growing, they see the way the mother is doing things. You
Yes.
don't need much to tell. So that's in that case, the mom and the dad they are forfeit because we always say children are actually the leg or the stick, the walking stick of their parents when they get old. So it is at such time that you get to determine if that coming together was a success or not. We look at the kids, not the time you get married. So marriage
Yeah.
is like a company you want to build. You don't call it successful from the get-go. You need 1, 2, 3 years, your products penetrate the market and you're making profit before you can say you've succeeded. That's it.
All right. I think
Well said.
this is entrepreneurial and very
Well said.
insightful as well.
Yes,
All
that's a
right.
great
I'm going to
analogy.
add up somebody. I'm going to add somebody who's been backstage. This is Son of Light. I saw somebody requesting in the comment section that I hope the Son of Light go there today. Now we have Son of Light. Son of Light, you're very much welcome to the podcast. Son of Light there.
Hello, hello.
Yes, Son of Light, we can hear you 5 on 5.
Okay. I'm very sorry. I'm talking like this is because I'm at work, but I will be a little bit controversial. Are you getting me?
All right. 5 on 5, Son of Light. 5 on 5.
Son of Light,
Okay.
welcome. You're welcome on board, bro.
Okay.
Welcome,
You
sir.
know, yeah. Thank you so much. I listened to Coach B. I listened to uh, Sheikh Dawai, and I think I have some uh conflicting views. I would like to put it that I have some conflicting views with the way they put their words. So
All right, fire on.
in the course of me trying to explain, I think they will see in to my words why I said I have some conflicting views. You know,
Yeah,
the institution of marriage is
yeah.
a very big topic. What I want to say here is, first and foremost, let us understand what is marriage.
Yeah,
Okay, marriage is the coming together of one man with one or two, three, four, I don't know, women. That is marriage under consent.
mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's get into it. Now the question is it an achievement? The
Yeah,
question of first of all asks us is, what is the reason for marriage?
yeah,
What is the reason for marriage? The very
yeah,
first aim, the very first aim of marriage, the very first aim of marriage is to build a family. This
yeah,
is the first. This is the first. This is the first unit of the society. The
yeah,
first unit of the society. If we accept that marriage is the first unit of the society, then words like achievement will be secondary. I will explain. And
yeah,
of course, I will stand on a particular ground to be explaining what I mean by the first unit of a society. If we look at our African
yeah,
context, when a man and a woman they are coming together, this is called marriage. Now,
yes,
I don't think we should have a topic like, is it an achievement? Because if we say it is an achievement, it means there are some particular people that they will say that marriage was not an achievement. So I will start by saying that the presence of the word achievement makes some people to feel as if they have not achieved.
mm-hmm.
So it therefore waters down what we're trying to say. Is like, for example, I ask you a question. If you get up in the morning and you are eating food, is eating food an achievement?
Of course, no.
Okay. So if we say that eating food is not an achievement, why then should we think that marriage is an achievement? No, to me, I would differ. Marriage is a normal thing. It happens like food. That is why I will say this. When there is what it is and there's what ought to be, there is what is and there's what ought to be. And if you look at what's happening today in our African context or in the world today, people have abandoned the right thing and they are following something that resembles the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
think sorry to cut you short,
I
sir.
think Son
But
of Light did not
if I
differ
don't
from a point. I think we're
if I don't cut him short right now, I may forget. Okay, permit sorry. I think if you start saying that marriage is a natural thing or a normal thing, I would not take that as being very good, because you make me feel that there are people who cannot actually live without being married, or for example, you make me feel that the priest who does not get married is doing something abnormal, or the
I will
nun
come
who
to
is
you. I
caused
will come to you.
not to be
I will
married
come
is
to you.
doing
I
something
will come
abnormal.
to you.
So
I will come to you.
so
I will come to you.
all right. So
All
I
right,
think we should try to see again the fact about marriage being something normal, because I don't think only nuns and priests are not called to
Okay.
marriage, because some
Okay.
people can actually
Listen.
decide not to
now,
marry. I know people who
now,
don't want to get married, who don't see marriage as something that is necessarily important in their
Let
lives
me
or their
proceed.
journey.
Let me
all right.
proceed.
Let's allow Son of Light to fire on. Son of Light, land, please.
Okay. The reason why I said it is a normal thing, the reason why I differ that we should not make it to look like it is something that has to be like an achievement is because if we make it to look like it's supposed to be an achievement, it means we are going to be making others to feel like their own marriage is not an achievement. No. What I mean by saying here is marriage is a normal thing. People, when you get married, people are telling you congratulations. This should not be something that is supposed to be so. Marriage is a happy event. Marriage is something that's supposed to happen naturally. But what I am trying to say is, okay, look at, for example, like in our African context, do you know that there are ladies, there are ladies that understand, that go on their knees to pray for, they pray. But you don't pray for food. Marriage is supposed to be like food. You don't pray for food. It is there. You just have to go and get it. So when I see people telling people, congratulations, no, that's why I use the word that there is what is and there's what ought to be. There is the right path and there is a path that looks like it is right. This is where our problem is. Now,
So
let me give you people, wait, let me give you people a context. In the African society where we are into, if you tell a girl that we let us perform our marriage. Marriage is a union between one man and a woman, one man and a woman, or one man and other women. If you tell them that, okay, I want to go and see your parents and let us make our marriage, she's going to tell you that no, you have to make the traditional marriage. You have to make the traditional marriage, you have to make the white marriage, you have to make the court marriage. The question I ask is, what is all that for? Okay. Now it is because we are in a society where we don't first of all understand the actual origin and the concept of the word marriage. So now some people see marriage as something that they use it to show that they are more than others. No. The fact that you are married and the fact that another person is not married doesn't make you more important or make you more, doesn't show that you have achieved and the other person has not achieved. No. So you tell a girl, let us make our traditional marriage. We are going to do only traditional marriage. Forget about the court. Forget about the church. It is a problem. Which means the point is not marriage. There is another attachment to that particular stuff. But now, if you look deep into it, what happened in the past? My mom and my father, they never had any court marriage. But my mom and my father, they are till today. Their marriage is more than 30 years. But I know of a boy who has gotten married.
Yes, so
they have everything. Yes.
Son of Land, Land, son of Land.
Okay. So at the end of the day, I don't stand to say that marriage is an achievement, because we have missed a lot of things that have to do with all this thing about marriage. It is not an achievement. It is a normal thing, and it will keep on being normal. Thank you.
All right, this is
okay.
Smoke. Like you all know, everyone has an opinion, has the right to their opinion and what they think. That's why we have different panelists to handle different points of view, and different persons represent different people. Now we're going to come to share, but let's take a few comments. Now, Akum Angel says, marriage is a school where you get a certificate before you start schooling. This concept is very interesting. I call it interesting. This other one says, it's just the joy and the bold step you have taken. That's why they say congratulations. Now we have Mervis Gum. Mervis Gum, you're welcome. Pro makeup artists and communicators. He says, now big achievement are back. And on a very serious note, a lot of people don't actually acknowledge this particular point because of the feeling of being judged or tagged as desperate. This is the comment I was looking at. I'm going to take a few and then we'll come back to this one. So what if you're okay? This is the next comment I'm going to take is from Tasha. Tasha, you're welcome. It says, to me, marriage is not an achievement. No. To me, it's another difficult circle of your life that you just step into it. And just to think of how some marriages come with suffering and sorrows, I will congratulate anyone, but rather I will say it this way. Now, these are two schools of thoughts in the comment section. I just wanted to take these two comments, that of Itasha and that of Mervis Gum. Now, this one is saying, when you think of the stress, there are a lot of comments coming up. Please keep sending your comments and share it. We will take the comments one by one. There's this school of thought that says it's an achievement, and this one, on the other hand, is talking about suffering. Now, I want to elaborate a little bit more before Chef comes to throw it. There are a lot of women that we know, and they know themselves, that their only wish, the thing that's going to make them happy this year, is if they finally get married. A lot of ladies are on that lane. Now, how do we categorize that? If she finally gets married, is it not an achievement to her? Or what do we think? Now, Chef Dawei, you can come in with what you wanted to say. Meanwhile, those watching can drop their reactions in the comment section. Chef Dawei,
I'll go back to, yes, I'm here. I'll go back to Son of Light.
Yeah.
Before you came, we already established that family is the most important unit. We already established that, and we went as far as talking about a whole lot of things you talk about. Talking about marriage being normal, yes, I'll agree with that. It is a normal thing for like judging from our society of today. It is a normal thing for anyone who has made some money to just look for a woman and they go to the altar. It's a normal thing these days. Yeah, that has been normalized. Anyone can do that. Who just want to prove to society that okay, me too, I feel fine woman, me too, I feel born picking them. But if you want to, we have to go deeper. Marriage is way deeper. It's way deeper and broader than just the normal thing people do. Yes. About the sorrow part of it is something you have to make sure from the beginning. Like the comment, it's who was that person? Let me check. It's Tasha
All
or
right. Okay, it's Tasha. Let me highlight the comment so you can see. Let me highlight so everyone can see. The comment is there. To me, marriage
Okay.
is not an achievement. Yeah.
Yes, so we've also established and tried to define achievement, and I now still reiterate that it's relative. It's good according to Tasha. Marriage is not an achievement, and we are not
Yeah.
here tonight to convince anyone to change or switch positions. I'm just talking from my own school of thoughts, and
Yeah.
those who align will go with it. Okay, so for me, marriage, like you just getting married, I've said this before, it's not an achievement. The products of the marriage, what you get at the end of the day from that marriage, with kids being at the top of it. If you have sound, if you've actually produced very sound kids who come to contribute to the society, yes, that marriage was an achievement. If that marriage is peaceful, if that marriage gives you joy, if that marriage is fulfilling, yes, take note, keyword fulfilling. That marriage has to be fulfilling. It doesn't have to be a place where you go to cry, like the way my sister it's Tasha has defined hers. You know, there's power in words. Yeah, the way you get to define things and the way you get to put them out there.
Yeah.
Life is all about energy. I always say this, and words are also energetic. So, based
Yeah.
on her definition
Yeah.
of marriage, that's exactly what should be attractive. So, if you
All
know
right.
exactly what now, like I will have our pastor in the comment section. He's saying, and I've said it before, that marriage becomes an achievement when it aligns with the purpose of our Creator. We are
All
here
right.
to multiply and subdue the earth. We are here to multiply and subdue the earth. And by multiplying,
All
we
right.
will not just go out multiplying. We are here to bring firm children, like beautiful kids.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
will be the
All right.
representation of that
This
union.
is this.
Am I breaking?
No, go ahead.
Yes. So when you find that person, you find that
All right.
person, you have to go all the way. You have to go all
On my side, you're breaking. I don't know if you all can hear Chef. Can you all hear Chef well? Coach B, you there?
Yeah, we're hearing him. I'm hearing him on top.
I think your network is the one disturbing. My network is stable today. So once we
Network is an
understand,
achievement in this
Hold on,
country.
once you before you a man as a man or as a woman, before you even think about getting close
All
to
right.
someone to was marriage.
Okay.
Make sure you understand.
Can you all
what
hear
marriage
me?
is
I don't know
all
if you can
about,
hear me. If you
and
can you
get
all
to
hear me?
understand. Just be quiet, bro. When you come like this, you obstruct everything. We are fine at our end. Know that is your
Wow.
network that is
I'm using a
disturbing.
very beautiful network.
Yes, that network.
Can you hear me?
That network don't make you don't do makeup.
All right.
Yeah. So before you even jump into it, before you jump into marriage, I'm talking about today because maybe I'll talk later about how it used to be before. I'm talking today. Make sure you're happy with that person first. Make sure you get to know that person. Don't just go because this person, according to society, the way they define things, this person is established, this person has money, or this woman has good nyash, good boobs, and stuff like that. And you go because of your infatuation and stuff like that. Do your due diligence, and make sure you understand marriage and you're willing to go all the way through. At the end of the day, we'll look at how happy you are. We'll look at how peaceful your home is. We'll look at how fulfilling that marriage is. We'll look at the lives of the kids before we'll be able to say if the marriage was an achievement or not. Yes, I rest my case.
All right. I was struggling before the network interrupted to add this very wonderful person, and it's no other than Gran Casero. I don't know if he's there. Gran Casero, you're welcome to the live broadcast, and he's someone whom I know is definitely going to have a lot to say as far as this topic is concerned. I hope you all can hear me now. Gran
Yes.
Casero, you're welcome to the show, and glad to
Yeah,
have you.
yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, guy. And I want to
All
appreciate
right.
all.
Okay.
I want to appreciate everybody who has been contributing to this great topic. Yeah, I think it's a very big topic, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very big.
Yeah.
And I really like to talk on topics like this. So,
Yeah.
as it is asked, is marriage an achievement? Yeah. I want to look at it on two different angles. I would say I witnessed marriage in Cameroon, in Africa. I witnessed marriage in Europe. And when I look at Africa and Cameroon, I think
Okay.
to a certain extent, marriage is an achievement for some. But in the West, marriage is not.
Yeah.
It's not an achievement. It has
Yeah.
no. In short, it has nothing to do with humanity. It's just like another speaker said. It doesn't mean it's just normal. Nobody batches you if you don't get married. Nobody insults you if you don't get married. It doesn't mean anything. It's their choice. It's a country where you are free to do what you want, how you want, and when you want, and nobody comes after you. So, but if I look at it in an African context, to a certain level, marriage is an achievement because I know, like every parent, when your child finds a woman or your daughter finds a man, it gladdens his heart or her heart. Your parents will be happy that at least you have found somebody that you want to start building. Now, to complete it, to get the real, to say you achieve, I think it always has to come at that end. Like you will see, people give testimony here that they have been in marriage for 30 years. I think there you will say that it's an achievement for them. Because to stay in marriage for 30 years it's not an easy thing, guys. Yeah, me, I've been in that for about 20 years, but I know the challenges. There are ups, there are downs, but we are still standing. And when you see an elderly man who has been in marriage for 30 years, 40 years, I think in a typical African context, it's an achievement. Yeah, so that's how I look at it. No matter, even though today I would say the value of marriage is depreciating, it is finished, or there's no value of marriage in Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the West, we still have those values in Africa. We see, if I want to grade Africa, we still have 50% of marriage that you will enjoy that value of marriage, that sweetness of marriage, but in the West, it's gone off. No. So I think marriage for me, in an African context, is to a certain level, it's an achievement. Yeah, but in the West,
Grand Casserole, welcome.
man. Yeah, so I think that's my contribution. Maybe I'll say
20
something.
years, 20 years in marriage, easy. Yeah. Una clap for you, una clap for you.
You deserve that clap, Grand Casserole.
Yeah.
Yes, 20 years in marriage is not bonbon. And I like your point, the angles you're attacking from. Let me go with the West, these Western people. We know the West.
Yes.
I love to call them the cave dwellers. Before we develop and civilize them, they used to live in caves, right? Yes. So these people, they are like virus. They're like a virus. Anything they touch, they destroy. Anything they touch, they just want to destroy. And they are actually anti-nature. Anything that is natural, they come to change it. Yes, they'll propose for you for a man to knock another man, and they'll push that. That'll be
push the agenda. They'll invest money.
Yeah, they'll push it. Yes. What is not natural? That's what they'll push. So now, coming back to our African context, where a woman or a man was never supposed to knock. They were never supposed to knock until una don't be ready to settle in that light, right? It was not a common thing. Everything about the 4 stages to marriage, you have dating, courtship, engagement, marriage. All of those were introduced by these Western unnatural people. Now, with the dating stage, knocking became normalized. You have to knock. You have to knock. You have to taste plenty soup them. You need to work at the taste. If this one not go with you, you switch to the next one immediately. So knocking became normalized. That alone destroyed people. You see someone working all his life in Africa, like the way it used to be before, to get to that standard, to be able to knock, to have a woman in his house. That was pretty much an achievement. But now everything has been normalized, like the way we want to look at it, because you go through the dating stage, you go through the courtship stage, you get to engagement. And even at that engagement stage, if you don't work out with this particular person, you feel go start and back from point one with another person. You just keep going. So long so your knocking is guaranteed. Your knocking is guaranteed. So you have nothing that you're really striving for like that. Everything is normal for you. And these cave dwellers, they made sure of that. So if us as Africans, if we want to go back to what used to work for us, we want to go back to what used to work for us, because everything Western civilization is currently crumbling, and what will stand is actually what used to be the original things. Everything is going back to the beginning. We call this period the Great Reset. Like what is happening in the world now, we call it the Great Reset. And if you see even the fights, whatever war, the nuclear wars that are coming, or the Third World War and stuff like that, they're all fighting for Africa. So everything is coming back to Africa, and we are actually going back to our roots, the way it used to be done. Where we will have to eliminate that dating process, we'll have to eliminate the courtship process and all of that. Now you just go by family. Is this family a good family? That's the way we used to judge things. Is this family a good family? Is the mom a good mom? Is the dad a good mom? Then you judge and go and betroth your son to that family. And at the right time, when everything is right, you just go straight to the process. That particular night, like when in the Bible, like when Isaac yes, Abraham made his servant to swear and send him to go and get a wife for Isaac in Sokoto in Nigeria, because all the stories in Bible that took place in Africa. Go to uncover most of them. So the servant actually went to Sokoto in Nigeria to get a wife. He did all the rites and everything. He did everything. But at that point, Rebecca was never pronounced to be Isaac's woman. When they got into the room, and he got to know her, like getting into her, that was exactly when the Bible specified that she became his wife. So from that dating stage, that you're already knocking, you're already married, because any woman where you don't knock them, you're married spiritually to that person. You're already tied up to it. All these institutions and whatever that are put in place, that you need to go to the church, you go and sign before the civil registrar. All those ones are just ceremonials. The real marriage, the spiritual, the way our ancestors used to look at it, like when they even give a daughter, like the Yoruba tribe, they still do that till today. They'll give a child for marriage. They'll ensure the family will go and see the girl off to her husband's house, and they'll get into the room. The whole family will stand and wait at the doorpost. The man will go into the room to knock. That's when he has to break the hymen. He has to come out with a sheet, the white sheet with her stain on it. That will be what will consolidate the marriage. That will be what will consolidate the marriage. But we've gone by the Western standards and we've lost and missed everything. So we are at a point we really need to retrace and come back to Africa.
All right.
We eliminate the dating stage, which gives room for people to knock freely anyhow. What can it taste? The taste soup. As the one not good for your mop, you abandon and you go back for the next one. So that one alone, it reduced our women to objects. Yes, it reduced our women to objects, and it took away their crown of glory. And it just be something that you just need for the taste. This one be this, so the one be this, so this one. It was never like that. And that's why today we have, like one of our speakers said, people pray for marriage today. They pray for marriage today because our society has been distorted. Back in those days, no one prayed for marriage to be married. You just need to have that. You just need to come from that fulfilling family with a good father, a good mother, and another family whose son is doing well. They'll come for you without you praying for it. They'll just come for you without you praying for it. But we've gone by the Western standards, and everything about Westernization is a virus. And because we've been affected by this virus, we need to keep praying. You need to go down on your knees. You need to fast. Right. You need to fast to get a man these days.
Right. Okay. These things you've said, Chef, are very, very vital. Now, I want to highlight some things before coming to Coach B, because I'm sure Coach B would like to react to some things from what Son of Life said to Pastor Isaiah to Greg Castro and to what Chef said, because you could get some reactions from when you're talking. Now, the first thing, if we're going back to the days of old, you will notice in the African context, polygamy was a normal thing. So the women were grown to have good morale so that they could work in collaboration with their husbands and be married to him and do whatever tasks they were supposed to do there. So a man could have a good, even 3, 4, 5 wives, and it was no issue. But nowadays, the advent of the same Westernization, issues like polygamy have been, it have been tagged as evil. I don't still believe in that narrative actually, but it has been tagged and evil in such a way that even the young girls themselves would prefer monogamy. I mean, a lot of them, though there are some that don't mind polygamy. A lot of young women will prefer monogamy. Now you will see the population ratio between man and woman worldwide, the women are relatively more than men. And if you have to go by monogamy, means some people are going to stay unmarried. But previously, a man could keep 3 or 4 wives to himself, and the problem of marriage was not really a big deal. Now, for you to have one man to yourself, you pray and pray and keep on now. Coach B, you have the floor. Please land now. Finally, I think you help us with a good definition of marriage, because each time we have the definition, anybody talk about definition, like when some of us when they married, they said the marriage of one man and 2 or more women, there was a beautiful reaction. Now, I wanted to
I did roll my eyes, and I apologize for doing that. I did roll my eyes, and I really apologize for doing that. So, but it's the reason why I rolled my eyes is I don't think that's a contextual definition of marriage. Marriage is a union between a man and a woman. If we want to say marriage is a union between a man, a woman, or multiple women, then we are going to broaden that definition to a man and a man, a woman and a woman, 2 men, 1 man, and so on and so forth. So that's why I wanted us to bring it down to a union between a man and a woman and leave it there. So I don't want us to to call it, I don't know, some of like here, but
please, thank you very much.
Marriage, and I do respect that. So I just didn't want us to broaden it. If we say it's a man and multiple women, then it could be multiple women and a man and a man, a woman and a woman, and so forth. So, but we've been having beautiful conversations, and I appreciate all the contributions, and I think we're all moving in the right direction or in the same direction, making sure that we roll out the idea of our young or our people in Africa thinking of marriage as an achievement from the get-go. It's a milestone in everyone's life. If you call marriage an achievement, it's like saying growing up is an achievement. It's something that is naturally going to happen because it's part of the life cycle. So marriage also has a start. It has a whole cycle, a lot of events that are going to happen within that marriage, children that are going to be born, children that are going to be raised, sicknesses that will come in the way, financial challenges that will come in the way, and all these things, managing families, maybe additional wives coming in the picture or additional husbands coming in the picture, infidelity coming in the picture. There's a lot that happens on the journey of marriage. For someone to call it an accomplishment by the time they are jumping into it, that's technically, Pastor, keep me honest on this one. That's technically why we're having so many failed marriages, because we think the marriages are accomplishments even before getting into them. And so when you think it's an accomplishment, and by the time you get into it, you realize that there are so many thorns. This guy snores at night. This woman has a bad breath. She has a bad body odor. She has a bad behavior. She doesn't know how to cook. Her family, her mother is a witch. Her grandmother used to be a witch. And all of that, when you start uncovering those things, there's no way you will stay in it becomes a failure. So don't call marriage an accomplishment. I think what we want to call an accomplishment is how prepared are you for the institution of marriage? As a young woman, how prepared are you by the time you will be getting married? How much have you learned about the man that you'll be marrying to, or the family you'll be marrying into? Think about what Chef Dawai said earlier. Most families, even till today, by the time a woman gets married, both families go to investigate the other families, just to make sure that the family line probably doesn't have some illnesses, or maybe they did not have armed robbers in their family line. They did not have all these negative things. Families go investigating that information. It's because they know it's between 2 families, and a lot is at stake if the wrong family comes into their family. So let's roll out the fact that marriage is an achievement, so that all our communities back home, people will start thinking of marriage in a different way. Grant Cazero mentioned that in the West, People think differently about marriage. And I want to think my experience in the West, keep me honest. I don't know if anyone has had experience.
Yeah.
I feel white people understand what marriage is better than us in Africa, because there are so many people in Africa that if you ask them why they got married, it's limited to having children. But marriage is about two people coming together, identifying a vision and working towards accomplishing that vision. It's not limited to just bringing forth children in this world. That is one of it. That's a piece in a marriage. Marriage is about two people being there for each other, loving each other, making children, raising the children together, making sure that those children have a future, even if they are not here. But how many of us came from families where we were empowered to be great even without our parents? Some of us lived in our family compounds even at the age of 35 with wives and kids. And some of us even wake up one day and fought our parents over their houses. That is not what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be there to empower, make sure that the offsprings that we're bringing into this world, when we talk about go ye and multiply, it's not just to go and give birth to children. It's going to create an impact in the universe, create an impact in the world. Don't just go and plant fruits and then you don't water them. You plant them, you water them, you watch them, you see them grow. That's the kind of impact that
A
man
legacy.
on earth. Go ahead, Pastor.
Yes, what you're saying is very on point. It's very on point. Because the truth is,
that's good.
the truth is,
yeah, right on, Pastor. Say it.
the truth is, when did marriage become an achievement? Let's be frank and honest. Why the topic comes about marriage being an achievement? The truth, when did marriage become an achievement? Marriage started being an achievement in the minds of people. And permit me, you may think I'm sounding biased, but I'm not biased. Mostly in the minds of women. Why? Because women have started thinking that if I'm aging out, I am going out. I have not been able to get married. I have had no children, everything and so forth. But marriage in itself is not an achievement. And I'll try to explain, because you see, I'll also come back. Let's be able to, as human beings, dissociate the fact of a wedding from a marriage. A wedding is not a marriage. A wedding is the ceremony, is the traditional rites and everything and so forth. That is not marriage. Marriage is what you live after the wedding night. So until we come to that understanding that marriage is beyond just the wedding, then we can begin to understand that, okay, marriage is a whole lot, it's an institution on its own. It's a whole journey on its own. And as I said in the beginning, marriage does not limit itself to just coming together. Please be very sure that your temperaments match. It is a very important aspect in marriage, temperament. Because don't get married to a person who you feel is a thorn in your spirit or is a thorn in your flesh. Why? Because you have gotten married to the kind of person that cannot understand the path and the journey you're taking. Now, if we come to the past, in the past, our parents, how was marriage being done? You see, your father would carry you and go and leave you in a man's house and say, that's your husband. And the marriage was going on. Why? Because the lady had the fear of her parents and had the responsibility to carry the name of her family to the right direction.
Right.
And if you cannot be making your family proud, then you're being considered as a failure. And how do you make your family proud? By the kind of way they have trained you, by being able to give out back the family name. That's why I come back again to what Coach B was saying, the legacy. People come together in the Western world. People come together to be able to achieve a particular goal. They don't just get married because they want to get married. They don't just get married because they feel like, oh, I'm aging out or whatsoever. They get married because they know that they have the responsibility to take care of the future generation. Because after you have worked what you have worked, once you go, who are you leaving in charge of what you've left? If not, it's going to be a waste. So they train their kids not to be a waste to society, but to be able to continue developing society in the path they have created.
Right.
The Bible even says it, bring up your child in the way they should go, because it is important that someone carries on with the legacy we have been able to establish so far.
Generational wealth.
Right.
Yes, exactly. So let's first of all erase from our minds the fact that we think the wedding is
It's
the
not
same as marriage.
agreed.
Marriage is not a wedding because people can be married even without a wedding. The wedding
Yes.
cake is not what makes the marriage. So when the marriage become an achievement, it's because people have seen others make a bright wedding, a big wedding. I want my
Yeah.
wedding to be like this. Please, yes, I'm just trying to make you to understand what I've been saying. Oh, I want my
No,
wedding to be like this. My
you're
wedding cake will be this way.
100% on.
My wedding gown will be like this. My makeup will be this, and I will spend this amount. I've seen people get wedded. The following day they divorced. Why? Because they could not stick together.
Yes. Yes.
So if we go back to our African roots, you see, a father will go and leave his daughter for a marriage because he's confident this one can make me proud.
Wonderful.
How I wish we can get back to our roots, but it's not
We
possible
are
with the
going
social
there.
media.
It's,
Hello,
it's possible. We are going back to our roots. That's what is
hel-
happening
With
right now.
the
hello.
social
So
media,
at the end of the day, the whole of this conversation, we can now redefine marriage. I'll try to define it from the African perspective, and Coach B will define it from the West.
Don't say a man and multiple wives, because I'll say
No,
multiple wives and or multiple husbands and
Hello. Can
yeah.
I
So
get in? Can I get in? Can I, Chef Dawe, can I just get in quickly, really fast?
son of
pardon?
life.
Hello,
Coach Bonita,
hello.
I can understand why he's saying that. When you go to marriage, those are the questions they ask you: monogamy or polygamy, because there are both sides. There is a room for both.
Grand Casero, let me just get in. Hello,
Yeah,
can you hear
go
me?
on.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Um,
You can get you soft light. Yes, son of light.
Coach B, something they were go talk. I decided to talk with pigeon because of place where they no want to me to hear me. So when I talk with pigeon, they no go hear. Uh, the truth I say, we Africans we for try as much as possible for separate between emotion and reasoning.
Mhm.
And reality.
When you want to talk true, you need to attach emotion because in emotion, reasoning is clouded.
Of course.
So when me I open my mouth, I talk say married are between one man, one woman, or one man and plenty woman them. And it based on emotion.
African context.
Not in an African context. I need it based on emotion, I based on reasoning. Then you don't talk now say if we go for broaden and so that means we go for bring one woman and many men. The question when me I go ask you directly now say, can you advise your gay picking me marry different men them? Answer.
Good question. One thing I've learned in life is not to have high expectations on any human being, including a child that will come out of my womb. The
Wait.
I no, I'm coming to my answer.
So you woman, you hit talk me a gay picking, me married plenty man picking at one time.
No, be me give for first decide. That's what I'm getting at. No, be me
Okay,
give for decide
okay.
because as you at the I don't know, when we grow up, I don't think our parents, they just influence the decision in some way, but they do not point us to that decision.
Okay,
And
now,
whatever they say, we will do what we want to do.
okay. Now, the reason why I ask the question, I say, by default, the way life don't program all man, you cannot fight nature
Yeah.
by default. And we as Africans, we dey in a certain right path for where we you see and some person talk for this, this one will go back for our route because plenty thing they don't spoil. And the reason why plenty thing they spoil now because it's some person come out can spoil them. Some person do it, he write song for paper. You can tell we say that sun where you see him for air, so not even the natural sun. Now the one we do for paper, now it be the natural sun. They will start follow the one we do paper. So if we should don't for you one talk through, we get for keep all emotions for corner, we put reasoning, we talk the truth. Because the truth I say we as Africans will dey for the right path. But because of which we don't live American influence, we really think again right, which is very, very bad. So if for example, like some person talk for this city, so married not even at the ceremony, married at the thing after the ceremony, yes, that one are true. That one are true. Which they happen I say, we as Africans, like some person talk for this city, so never yet understand the concept of marriage. The people the way they did for the West, they don't understand the concept of marriage. Which me I want talk and say, me we try as much as possible for the limit the way we would take example from the people then for some particular institution then. Because these people they know about to get sense pass with me. More learn for the understanding we to get thinkers, we to get understanding. More not begin to look and say, not only them will normally teach you the right part. No, not only them they teach you the right part. We will teach the people them. Or they teach people them. We get our own standard them. I will not suppose take our standard in the measure according to the standard them. If you know they are for right cause. Now, for example, see the world we live into. The people they don't succeed for can convince we say this so man and man they will be together, woman and woman they will be together. But when one man and plenty woman they want to be together, that one not they correct. Who said that kind of thing come out? Who said that kind of thing come out? When I talk to some person will tell me say if we live a male one man get plenty woman them, they more live a male one woman get plenty man behind them. The question I talk and I say when you talk who say they keep their senses, there is a certain natural course of life we no fit come from that life. And if we don't learn for understand the course of life, a lot will go wrong. See the way we live into it, like I said, the white talk saying in the past with the base now on habit. But now so girl go really shit on put in the program, the prison name mapping marriage. How did we get here? How did we get here? Say woman go put in the program, they pray for God. We map begin this. No.
And man begin to the pray for find the right wife and get married.
Okay, now, but see what will happen in the past. See what will happen in the past. I don't know the kind of tribal you come out. Like some person being talk about this woman, they plenty past man. And if we for consider saying that one man get married one woman, what be that other woman then what they will do?
No be
Now,
all man
at
people marry.
the camp. No be all wait, no be all man get for married. No be all man get for married. But yet we see some woman them where they declare for married. But then they get answer them. Now the question I ask you is I don't know the kind of tribal you did from a country talk. Will not get the word prostitution for a country talk. It means it not begin to exist. Which be prostitute for your country talk? Could be which be prostitute for your country talk?
No.
It not they exist. You know why they exist? It did exist because some person they say and say no. Wait, I will explain that for you. It did exist because some person be say and say nature they give plenty woman them pass man, and if that person if they make and say me one man marry one woman, problem will be. So which he do and say which he decide for toxic. So you married according to your according to how you protect them. So if you know say if you take care of one woman, you did mentally fit and you did financially fit for take care of one woman, you do one. If you know say if you do one for 2, 3, you bring them inside so that will reduce the rate of prostitution for society. Our parents, our forefathers were very, very knowledgeable. But some man can talk now say
So the prostitution between a man them.
So sorry for Jom Enter. Son of light. Sorry for Jom Enter. Sorry for Jom Enter. I know one derail you from two talking. I just want to ask you so one question. Wait till the give man confidence for one get second woman. What is the need for a man to want to have a second wife?
I will explain that for you. Okay. For the society where me I grow, a man is the most emotional being in the whole earth. Man gets sorry that pass all creature them for the whole world. I will explain that for you. Now only man, we woman go can talk for him. He could calculate whether if he will talk some kind of way bad for the woman, how the woman go feel, and the woman need to care about the kind of thing. Now, you don't ask me question, say, wait till they make them, because before man they go for the second woman. The question me I will ask you and say, some person begin give some person begin to give an exception of begin an example, you bring Western world. For Western world, all we will know about it is they call as a child support. Child support, they in a situation where if you go married, if you go born girl, you go born girl with some particular girl, they don't want to take care. Government they pursue you for take care where you don't want them. My question is say, you know say government knows say some people they do it, they know go they able to kill one woman, they will come go for outside, so they will catch them for make sure they take care of the responsibility. But for our context, you know we did that kind of way. So you did ask me now, say, which they really the give person the mind will take second woman. Why if they don't can use some kind of particular word and now they get the word side chick. Who said the name side chick come up? If you meet a two man picking, one get one woman for us, the other one gets side chick them for our side. You meet another man, with the man get two women. Between these two people, them now be a potential risk for society.
All of them. So this is what I would say. All of them are potential risk. It's a personal decision, and we all have biology. As women, as men, there are some women that cannot do it, cannot live with just one man. And likewise, there are some men that cannot handle just one woman. So I don't want us to make it as if it's an African thing. It can be anywhere in the world. It can be in a woman. It can be in a man.
Okay, wait, chef, Coach B.
So they turn the conversation into this man and multiple wives thing.
No. I was just saying that I didn't say we're terminating the conversation. The reason why what made me to come there is because you said if it is one woman, if it is one man to many women, it can be also many women to many men. Which I said, when you say it like that, how do you feel it in your head? There is a natural norm. So
I think she was saying that if we have to say marriage is one woman is one man to many women, it should also be the same the other way around. Don't centralize it to one side, because marriage in itself is a term. It's not just a term. It defines something. It defines commitment and communion. It's not just a word to say you have a wife or a husband. It's a commitment. It's a communion. It's an intimacy. And if you begin to have intimacy with several people, that's not marriage. Sorry, I'm sorry to say that's not marriage.
Okay, Pastor, what is that?
That to me, that is just satisfying your sexual desire or your selfish need to have mental illness. Let me tell you something here. Marriage to many women in the African society in the past was a sign of power. It was not even a sign of commitment to be able to handle. It's a sign of power. When you have many women, you are considered as a chief. You are considered as someone who is influential. It's not because you were committed to one person to say,
Pastor,
okay, I want to build my life with one of many people. No, it was seen as a prestige. No, let me make it clear. It was seen as a prestige. Right, even in South Africa, in terms of Shaka Zulu, it was seen as a prestige to have many wives. It was not seen as if you were committing yourself to build a future with many wives. You were seen as one who is acquiring power and territories. When you conquer a territory, you marry a woman from there to show that you have overcome that particular territory, and so on. That's how polygamy came in.
Pastor, let me ask you a question. Is there polygamy in the Bible?
Let's calm down.
Wait, Pastor, is there polygamy in the Bible?
Good. That's a very good question. Is there polygamy in the Bible? I'll say no. Because David even himself had many, which in quotes, many wives, got married to one that God even recognized. Because it even got the other ones that he had as wives were because he conquered a particular territory. And as a sign to show your dominion on that territory, you had to get married to a woman in that country, in that territory, to show that you are a king, to show that you're also taking over this land. That's all,
Was
and that's
that
why you see
was that
Solomon,
right?
his son. Wait, let me finish. That's why you see
That's
Solomon,
polygamy
his
or
son.
not?
Wait, it was not polygamy, please. That was not
Was
polygamy.
What
it?
That
was
was
that?
just
What
a
was that?
Let's
What was
let's
that?
this.
let, let's
What was
let
that?
him
That's why I
learn.
am.
What was that?
Let me land now. Let me land.
Please
Let me land. You're cutting me. Let me land. Let me land. That's why you see it was considered as a mite.
um
It was not considered as a marriage. It
no
was considered as a mite,
no
as a means to connect two nations and show that your nation, as the man who got married to that woman, is
Can
supreme
I come
over
in?
that
Can I
one. It
come
was
in?
not
What of
marriage.
Abraham?
It
What
was
of
not
Abraham?
marriage.
What of Abraham?
Can
That
I
is why
come in?
What of
Abraham had
Abraham?
no
Sarah.
please
Abraham had
let's
Sarah.
do it in an organized way.
Abraham had Sarah, and the
All
other
right,
woman that
this
came
is
in
what
was
we're
not
going
even
to
because
do.
of marriage. It's
I'm going
because
to ask
Sarah proposed
my God.
that lady to have a child with that woman. It's not because
What
Abraham
of
did not have more than
Keturah?
one woman.
What of Keturah? What of Keturah?
Uh, you're going to name it.
I had to do it this way so that we'll continue the chat progressively. You see. All right, let's add up Lifespell. Lifespell is backstage. Hi, Lifespell. You're very much welcome, and we are glad
Hi,
to have you
welcome,
today.
sir.
Yeah, today we
Hi.
Welcome,
are
life.
talking about marriage being an achievement, and the conversation is very sweet. Chef Dawei, before coming back to Pastor Azeye and Son of Light, Chef Dawei wanted to say something.
Yes. I wanted us to put this conversation into different contexts. Yeah. From the
Yes.
Western standpoint, the Eastern standpoint, and from the African standpoint. When we talk of polyandry, to the East, those who come from
Yes.
India, it's a normal and natural thing for them. It's a normal and natural thing.
Yeah.
And when we want to talk about the West, is one man to one woman. That's marriage, according to them. Yeah, the West. And that's what
Yes.
Christianity that is coming from the West has been able to impose on us, Africans. Um, if you want to be true to yourself, you need to know who you are. You need to know you're different. You have a different genetic build and different genetic information within your being, and you're quite different from descendants of the Neanderthals. You're quite different from the descendants and offsprings of fallen angels. Here on earth, not everyone we see here on earth is human. Yes, so we're talking marriage and we're talking to our African brothers. We should make sure we put this conversation in context. Now, to
Yeah.
Pastor Isaiah, he's talking about polygamy not being in the Bible. I'll just go straight to Akobi. Akobi, my great grandfather, whom the Bible impersonated and called Jacob, and later on changed his name to Israel. Yeah, Akobi in Yoruba means firstborn. He went to his uncle Laban in Sokoto, Nigeria, to get married. While he was there, he fell in love with Rachel, and the uncle told him the condition for him to get married to Rachel was for him to work for 7 years. He did. That was the bride price he paid, right? And after serving his uncle for 7 good years, it was time for him to get married. The African tradition played a role. What's that tradition? The tradition which stipulates that the younger daughters do not get married before the elders. You go to Israel, you will not find this tradition. It's there in the Bible. It's only here in Africa. So when I tell you the Bible, though plagiarized is my history, I know exactly where I'm coming from, and I'll only use the Bible to make my point here. Yeah. So when it got no, it's not a different version of the Bible. Um, you have New
I don't think she's
Testament.
insinuating that, chef.
Pardon?
I don't think she's insinuating that, chef. She's just because you're saying you're calling African lands. That's why she's saying that comment. Go ahead.
Okay. So where was I even? Okay, talking about Jacob serving his uncle for 7 years for Rachel's hand in marriage, and after serving his uncle, our traditions they played a role. And instead of him getting Rachel, he got Leah, and he got angry. This is not what I bargained for. And the father told him, this is the tradition of Nigeria. This is the tradition of Sokoto. The younger daughters do not get married before the elders. So they went into another agreement. Jacob had to serve again for another 7 years. That's it. That's polygamy. It's not like, I don't want to go deep into other areas like what you're talking about, David, Abraham, and I just want to use Jacob. And if I'm lying, Pastor, you can tell the viewers, like, to correct Akum Angel, who is saying I'm talking from a different version of the Bible. I like it.
Wait,
I like it.
I will
I like it today
I will say you're
because
lying.
we have a man of God who I know is versed with the Bible, so it will make it very easy for us to um to conclude on this topic. So I'll give the
I'm
floor
not
to the man of God.
I'm not saying you're lying because I'll tell you the truth that Jacob was strict. If in the beginning, after Jacob had worked for 7 years and he was being given Rachel, he wouldn't work for another 7 years to get Leah. So it's just that Jacob knew already who he wants to build his future. But because he had already gotten into a commitment with Leah, and behold, this is unknowing, because Laban made sure that Jacob was well drunk so that he would lie with Leah without and thinking it was Rachel. And when Jacob gets up in the morning, he's shocked and angry with what had happened, which means that what he already knew with whom his destiny was supposed to be tied with. And that's one aspect of marriage, being able to know who your destiny is tied with. And he knew that if
For
he
sure.
stuck just with Leah, his life would fail. That's why he took the sacrifice to go in again. And if you notice, the only person that Jacob recognized genuinely and truly as his wife was Rachel, even though Leah was
No,
there.
a man of God. We when we talk about marriage, we're talking about God's purpose. We need to fulfill the purpose of God. If we want to look at the Lion of the tribe of Judah, if we want to talk about Judah, Judah is coming from Leah. If Leah was not actually a plan from God, the Messiah, or because the Messiah had to come from Judah's lineage, and it came from. So God's plan is not our plan. Jacob actually wanted Rachel, and if polygamy was not a norm in that society, when he got Leah, the father would never be the one to propose for him to work for another 7 years to get Rachel. It was a normal thing, and that's the way Africa was before the West came with their virus to change everything. And they had a target. They had a target, which was the family unit. They
Sir,
had to destroy
Chef,
the
Chef,
family
Chef,
unit.
do you know that by giving Leah, the father was trying to take away the disgrace from his family, seeing his younger daughter getting married before. Please, let's understand something.
That
That not
tradition
not
is it an African. The tradition does it correlate? Does it in any way tie with what is happening in the Middle East that the Bible portrays as the promised land? Does it in any way, that tradition of the elders, like the elder daughter have to get married before the youngest? Does it in any
till
way
date?
tie with
Are you,
anything happening in the Middle East?
no,
All right.
not nowadays. It doesn't really matter.
No, it's
All
not
right.
about not now our days. Our father, our Bantu father, the creator, is the same today, tomorrow, and forever. He's unchangeable. So what he puts as laws governing nature, they will never change. They will never change. You go.
Amen.
If, we are actually getting going out of topic, because today we are talking about
Exactly.
marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I
that's
was
what I
going to
was
say. That's what I was going to say.
But now we are talking about polygamy. So let's get
Yes.
back
Back to
to
marriage. Marriage and achievement.
and we put
That's
it
that's what I wanted to
we
point
put
out.
it within context. We put it within context. For
Yes.
the Western world, marriage is not an achievement.
Yes.
For yes, for an African, based on what we've been reduced to, marriage is an achievement because the woman is just there. Most of them that they're still trying to catch up with the trend of women emancipation. They don't really understand what that is about, so they depend on a man. And to such a woman, when she finally finds a prince charming, someone who is rich and able to take care of her bills, that's an achievement to her. But if we want to look at the African context, it was a normal thing for parents to raise their kids in the right way, training them in the way they should grow. And when they finally go, they never departed from it. And now, in that African society, you go for a woman who has been trained, who has been well trained, or a father, a good father, a good and loving father will never accept his daughter to be tied to a family or a man that he doesn't look or see that family to be a good family. He will not do that. He loves his daughter. So that due diligence was there. It was there, and we had a pretty much harmonious family. In that context, marriage was never an achievement. It was a normal thing for you to be raised correctly. And when you become right, like a woman, the right time for a woman to get married was when she saw her first flow. So the unnatural people that came to change all of this in order to create slave queens, in order to create bitches, in order to create prostitutes, and a whole lot of different titles and names that our daughters go by. Now, today they call them Gen Z baddies. They fail to understand that Z or Z, depending if you're speaking British or American, Z actually is the last letter of the alphabet, which means generation, the last generation. This is actually the generation with where Noah found where the exact things happening today. The Gen Z in the times of Noah, that's exactly what is happening today. We are in that
All right.
last generation. And in this
Also,
last generation, in this pretty last generation, Africa is going back to its roots. There's no
all
one
right.
stopping this. And those who are for polyandry, they should go to India. Those who want to stick like one man, one woman, they should go to the
Go to
West.
Europe.
In as much as you are in Africa, you have to do it the
You go to
natural way.
polygamy, which is
Like my rabbits recently
All right.
the natural thing that happened, we have more male than more female than male, and one male will do the job. One male rabbit will get 6 female rabbits impregnated, will get them pregnant, and they'll have babies. So with us Africans, we have to go the natural way. That's what works for us, and we have to go back to it. So when
Emma
we're
Chef,
having
please.
a conversation,
Emma
we
Chef,
All right.
please.
put it in
Chef, please.
context. Are you talking for
Chef,
the
please.
West? Are you talking for the East? Or are you talking
Chef,
for
please.
Africans? But as for
Chef,
me,
please.
I
Emma, please.
represent. Yeah,
Permit
I'm
me.
dropping. I'm dropping. As for
No,
me,
it's for you. The question is for you,
yeah,
Chef. Please.
okay.
Please tell me, why is it that in this African generation we are now, we are talking about Africa. I want to use this context for Africa. Why are
Yeah.
some men so scared and afraid to involve themselves in a marriage? Because if I'm kind of following you, you simply make me to understand that since marriage is natural and must be it could be polygamous, why are men afraid to engage themselves into a marriage?
Yeah,
It should
because
be natural.
the virus is the virus. They brought a virus that corrupted our system, and we need to format our system and reinstall the original program. That's what you do to your computer when it gets affected by virus. So we've been affected as well. So now they brought this, the virus they brought is what they call carrier. Now a young man who was who will be independent at the age 18 in a typical and original African setting. Today, he needs to work hard, get a lot of money, and given the ever-changing status of the society, money is never enough. Not to talk of him even finding that one woman to settle with. So just thinking about that enormous responsibility, it gets to scare a lot of men away. And a lot of us, we've been conditioned to go the Western way, one man, one woman. Now, looking at the African society, how it used to be, if your father was a farmer, you grow up to be a farmer. And the person you even call in Bible Jesus was a carpenter like his father. That was an African trend. And someday we'll talk about Jesus, the person in Africa he impersonated. Today is for marriage. So let's dwell on this now. So this young man, this young man, I've not dropped, bro. This young man, I want to answer his question. Why today young men are scared of marriage and stuff like that. So if your father was a farmer, you learn from him, you go to the farm with him. He was your first hero. Everything you know in life, you learn from him. And by the time you're getting to 18, you're already well placed in the society with your own banks of yam and stuff that your father sees you fit, and to make an extension of the family, he goes now to a family that raised a young, beautiful woman who is well placed in society, and they join you together because you can take care of her. At the age 18, you already have your farms. If that's in the case of where your father was a farmer. So when these people came with their program, they introduced career. You need to go to school. You spend your time competing with brothers. And by competing, the true African spirit of Ubuntu, because Ubuntu is a true African spirit. It's not the Holy Ghost. It's not, it's not the Holy Ghost. Ubuntu is the true African spirit, which states that I am because you are, and you are because I am. That alone, that's a spirit that used to bind us together. And you see a brother, you see yourself in a brother, and you see yourself in a sister. Given that spirit, we didn't have that that heart to go about hurting people. We were all about love and peace and stuff like that. So now we have to go through school, and through school we became competitors. One person who can cram and memorize more than the others, he will emerge the first in the class, and he will be looked upon as a superhero. Whereas in real life, we have people within that class setting who are super intelligent, but based on that system, that box that you're being placed in by the West, a lot of people end up not actually finding themselves, their ego and stuff tempered with. Now we are competitors. We lost the spirit of Ubuntu. You go through school, you go to high school, you go to the university, and now you start looking for jobs. You were never taught to create things. You were never taught, because you have to be like your father in heaven, your creator, because you were created in his image and likeness. So that implies you are a creator like him, you're a co-creator. So you are here to create and bring things, not just to be someone who come up with his ideas and stuff. Then you just go and with a career and you work all your life. That's not the way it used to be. By the time you're getting to 30 as a man, in a very typical African society, an 18-year-old boy is already established with children.
All
Emma,
right.
go ahead.
I wanted us to come back to context. We have discussed and good enough. We are trying to establish some facts that are some way linked to marriage being an achievement or not. I want us to take Lai Spell, who is going to tell us what he thinks on marriage being an achievement or not, and then I'm going to fire on the concluding phase. I just pray and Coach B, you're there, right? Before getting
Yes,
to Coach B, you're there?
yes.
All right, awesome. Now, Lice, you're very much welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Wickham. Hi to every panelist and hi to everyone watching us this evening. So I've been listening and it's quite powerful. We have gone all around and I've had the pleasure to enjoy everyone speak. But talking about marriage, it's always true that we can never talk about marriage without talking about polygamy, without talking about who has the right to marry one or two, and also without talking about whether Christianity stands for polygamy or not. I know many people have this controversy. Christianity, one wife, one woman, is modernity today, and a lot of people are in accord with that. But I just love us to be rational. It is not because today Christianity we are talking about monogamy, one woman, one man, that we are going to deny the fact that polygamy is in the Bible. So I don't want to comment much about that, but since today is a Sunday, I would just like us to go to one of the books in the Bible. I don't want to go to any other book, but I want to go to Deuteronomy because it is one of the books in the Bible. After the books of the Bible where we have a lot of laws and commandments. I will share this verse with us. You can note to read later, but it is found in Deuteronomy chapter 21, verses 15 to verse 17. It says, if a man has two wives, and he loves one but not the other, and both bear him sons, but the firstborn is of the wife he does not love. When he wills his property to his sons, he must not give the right of the firstborn to the son of the woman he loves in preference to his actual firstborn, the son of the woman he does not love. 17. He must acknowledge the son of the unloved wife as the firstborn by giving him a double share of all he has. That son is the first sign of his father's strength. The right of the firstborn belongs to him. The verse is very clear. It says, if a man has two wives, it means that the Bible already, you cannot, it's self-explanatory. I don't want to even comment on this. So we cannot say that polygamy is not mentioned in the Bible. And even in the polygamy that is mentioned in the Bible, they acknowledge that a polygamous man has a wife he loves than the other. Yeah, even our mothers always tells us that I know all the children I have and there's a child I love more than the other. Every mother knows that in her house. So we should not just like hang on a principle and try to erase it from the Bible. Today Christ came. Christ is a new vision. Christ is the author and the beginner of our faith. Christ is the example of the life we have to live. And in
Yeah.
Christ, we have a lot of things that Christ has abolished. But today, in our denominations, there are a lot of things that Christ abolished, but denomination still keeps them in place because it profits them. That is not a debate of today, so I'm just like rushing on it.
Yeah.
But now, going into marriage, for us to understand marriage, the achievement in marriage, I would like to go back to the base, to our basis, where we come from. They always say that when you are missing, it is good to go back to your starting point to prepare back to aim for your journey. I will take
Yeah.
us to the book of Genesis, chapter 1,
Mhm.
verse 26. This has always been my favorite verse in the Bible. Verse 26 to 28. Verse 26 says, Then God said, Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule. I will just like pause there and come back to what I read. God said, Let us make man. I don't know if when you talk to yourself, you refer to yourself as a plural. You don't refer to yourself as being two or one.
Mhm.
But God referred to himself as in plural because we all learn the Trinity of Godhead in Sunday school, because God is God the Spirit,
Yeah.
God the Son, and God the Father. So we have him in the three forms. So God said, Let us create man in our likeness, in our image. And he gave
Mhm.
commandments. Let them rule over the fish in the sea, and the birds in the air, and over the livestock, and over the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him, male and female. He created them. 28. God blessed them and said to them, Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground.
Mhm.
Today, because we have forgotten where we come from, we have forgotten our first love. We have been distracted by all the new things that modernity have created. We have been distracted by all the new education, and we are losing our values.
Yeah.
Due to that, many of us have lost what we call priority. I always believe that when a man loses priority in his life, the man loses focus, the man loses his way to his destiny. And that is why today he loses everything. And that is why today most people will say, or most people will think that marriage is an achievement. If you say marriage is an achievement, what is obtaining first degree is? What is having a son or a daughter after marriage is? Is it not also an achievement? It is,
Mhm.
but it is not an achievement for life. It is just a purpose. It is just a purpose of life. You know, to build a house,
Yeah.
to build a house, you make several pillars, you make several walls, you make several roofs, and that is life in question. And marriage in that life stands just as a pillar in a man's life. It is an achievement. It is part of God's plan in the life of an individual. But
Mhm.
today, because the society has been the way it is,
Mhm.
talking about society, I will just take us back to the Niger movies of back of those days.
Yeah.
Niger movies, this is just a plain scenarios that 90% of Niger movies will make come out in their movies. There's this lady from a struggling family who does not have anything. She's going to the stream. She's very obedient. She goes to the stream to fetch for
Yeah.
water. And here comes the son of a rich man, a rich Niger man in the village, and suddenly he falls in love with that lady. And despite everything they try to do, it is that lady that he gets married to. And out of a twinkle of an eye, the lady's life has changed. The lady is going to America. The lady is going to London. The lady builds a new house for her family. The lady's life changes drastically. That is just the image we have had in our minds. And that image has gone through in movies. And today, we think that when you get married, you have made it, you have succeeded, you have run out of the miseries of your life. But
Okay.
marriage is just a step to the destiny a man has to fulfill. I know a lot of men that did not fulfill their destiny because they got married to the wrong lady. They did not make a good marriage. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people who did not succeed because they did not have a wife by their side. So marriage is not an achievement in a man's life, but it is a step, it is a pillar to the foundation of the house you are building. Because despite everything that God said after saying to them, after deciding that let us create man in our image, in our likeness, he did not say that so that they should go and marry. He did not say so that they should go and subdue the earth. No, he said that let them go and rule over everything they created. And the last verse, the last 28, he says, then God blessed them and said, go and multiply.
Multiply.
It means that you need your Eve. Every Adam needs his Eve to take the course of his life, not rather an achievement to life. So that is just my humble contribution to that.
All right.
And
Okay. I mean,
Please,
that's,
multiplication is for multiplication
to
sake.
round
It's
off,
just the
to
advice.
round down with the last question, I simply think that Mr. Wickham, concerning the question that is being asked, why is it that young men are scared or run away from marriage? I would just simply say that it's because fathers are absent. Fathers are absent nowadays. Mothers are absent nowadays. There is nobody to train the children.
Yeah.
And the thing that is left to train the children that are coming is television, is iPhones, is tablets. And the young generation that is 20 years from today have copied a lot of information. Let me say something. There is this revelation I got by doing my research. You see why Jesus said that faith cometh by hearing, and hearing of the word of God. It is not for granted. Anything you listen, repeat it repetitively, even if it is a music that plays in a taxi while you're going back home. 2 hours later, you are going to be hearing that music in your mind, and you are going to be dancing to the tune of that music. That is because there is a power in what you hear. And when you look at the shape of your ear, I don't know if because the ear is upside down, but just imagine the ear, you turn the shape of the ear back. You will notice that the ear has the form of a baby in the womb, a baby
Yes.
curved in the mother's womb. If you turn it upside down, so the ear is a womb. and it's a womb that gives life to every word it hears, it listens. To every word it listens. So let us be careful with uh, uh, with what with what uh
We
with
listen
what
to.
we listen to, with what we hear our children listen to, because today the parents are not.
Mm-hmm.
Every child listens to everything he listens on social medias, on the internet, on the television, and it shapes the education they have. And today
Yeah.
we have young men who are not prepared for marriage. We have young ladies who are not prepared for marriage, but they are prepared for TikToks. They are prepared for Facebook challenges.
And yet
They are
they are
prepared
not prepared,
for
but
YouTube,
planning to get married.
yeah, challenges. And they want to get married because they see actresses in movies getting married and living a love story. But we
Yeah.
need parents who will teach men to respect women. To respect women. We need parents who will teach ladies to respect men. To understand that when they say a submissive wife is not a slave wife. To understand that the woman is the backbone of the family. That submission for every man that is in an army, understand that when you are submissive, it means you're under a mission. It is the woman who carries the man's mission. So we need parents who will give back this education to young men, so that this new vibe our children learn on television, social medias, and everything, that dating is the vibe of the season, that this education should be taken out of our children's mentality, because
Yeah.
today dating has been a
Dating is a normal thing. We have to rename it from dating to knacking. It's a complete knacking experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Okay. Now I wanted Coach B. I just played Coach B. I wanted to read one comment. This one comment, and then we fire on. This is coming from Bridget Bayi. Please, big shout out to everybody who is joining as well. We are gradually drifting to the end of the program. It's been a very interesting time, and there's a lot of lessons learned and a lot of ideas shared. It's a platform where you can feel free to drop your opinion in the comment section, and we're definitely going to read it. Big shout out to Evangelist Clemens. She was active in the comment section, but couldn't really get all her comments. Now, this is coming from Bridget Mbaye. Bridget Mbaye says, to an extent, marriage is an achievement, considering ladies from for 35 to 40 years think that not being married means they don't belong or are not respected or responsible. Now, this
I
is
have one
one school
answer.
of I will want
Well, I
us
have
to
just one answer to
fire.
that.
Yeah, let me pose the question well.
Go ahead.
Bridget Baye is talking about a category of women that are advanced in age. If you look at the African society, we have, I'll talk about African society to start first with. We have, there's a certain age which when ladies get, especially women, when they get to that particular age, there's this automatic pressure. I want to say it boils down to the degree of things that are ahead. Because I read a comment from someone says, just imagine being 20 or 23 and your uncle is like, your parents are like, you need to bring man, you need to bring man. So a lot of those things boils down to some ladies and they actually contain this information and it puts them in a state of desperation or unease because they are at a certain age and it looks like if you're not married at that age, you're not finished. I want us to actually look at you, this particular category, this particular school of thought of the ladies who feel their age being celibate at a particular age is actually a big challenge on their side. Now, Mbai Bridget, where I want to highlight that comment so everyone can see and we talk about it. Mbai Bridget says, to an extent, marriage is an achievement. Coming Can you all hear me?
I think this question
Can
has
you hear
already been answered. Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you. I think it has
All
been
right.
answered. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Pastor
said before Pastor John, let me just a few points.
Yes.
What I said about what Barney is saying, I said for today, like today, based on the effect of the virus, yes, marriage is an achievement. Marriage is an achievement. Like ladies getting to 35, 40, a lot of them, they feel down on themselves based on the pressure from society and stuff. But in a normal setting where things
All
were
right. That's
happening,
that's
where things were happening normally, your parents, just like my brother said, we lack parenting. Yes, parents will make sure they raise the kids rightly, and when they get to age, the right time, they get married. It was a normal thing. It wasn't an achievement. It was a normal thing. So two settings: the typical African setting where parents will take care and make sure they raise good children, and today that parents will go for career. Both parents are career oriented, and now their kids are being raised by television. Our days were a little bit better because we only had televisions. Yeah, that stole our visions. We had televisions that stole our visions. But today is worse. It's gone beyond just that one TV that used to be in one quartier. All man they go gather for chef the quartier in house or the richest man in the quartier to watch television. But today, just with your hand, with your phone, your vision is being stolen. And why those parents are out there chasing career, um, their kids are being raised by comedians, they're being raised by entertainers, they're being raised by any man, even person will not get sense. Anything out there is raising our kids today. So at the end of the day, we know we know the difference. If you're in this setting, marriage will be an achievement for you. After you don't go through the dating process, you don't scatter all. It's for the men
Chef,
and the
Chef
women because
Dawai,
men to the scatter, men to the scatter.
Chef
That is
Dawai.
possible. Yes,
I don't want to cut you. I just want to chip in what you were saying that we have the kids are scattered. I know most of us here have
yes,
watched a video that is going through online that they are young, these young little three girls from secondary school that are sitting and together they are saying that I do whatever I want with my P. If I sell it, it is for my money. It is not your P.
yeah,
If
yeah.
I do this, I
And
know
when they
most
say
of
that,
us has watched
when they
that,
say
and
things like that, we have girls who will just copy. They don't even think. We have
think.
Seda Bosch
Mm.
and others that they are raising our kids like what you're saying. That's the reality. Societal influence, and for me, I'll just end and go out of the life. For me, I need partners or a partner because I can settle with one partner if she's 10 in one, 3 in one, like a superwoman. They're out there, a lot of them. But if you are not up to that level, there must be compliment. Other women must come to compliment you. And these days, like today, you hardly find that woman who is truly working on herself, especially here in Cameroon. It's only about the urgent 2K. I need to go to the salon. I need to make my nails and stuff like that. And no real man would rather stay single than go for a mediocre kind
and
of thing.
yeah.
Not
and and
exactly
and
what
and the more a woman
exactly.
takes money from a man, she thinks she's wise
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
But they don't
So,
know they are being bought. They are being bought for nothing, for filthy
for nothing.
lucre. Yes.
Very cheap. Yeah.
See, Ndumwe is a sacred place. A sacred place that supposed to be very sacred. Like you look at that place before man begin, one enter there, we get fulfill a lot of conditions for society. But now don't be reduced to anything that you can buy with 1,000, 10,000, 50,000. They reduce it to nothing.
With
So men,
Even with promises, empty promises. I will do this.
All right,
Chocolate.
I'll have
Chocolate.
to step in here. I'll have to step in here as the only female in the room.
Please,
As the
please,
only
Coach
female
B,
in
Coach
the
B,
room. Go ahead,
Coach B,
Pastor.
please, Coach B. Sorry, you see, I was saying I have just one answer to that stuff. It's not long; it's just short, so that Coach B can talk. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is not respected because she's married or whatever, how many children she may have. Oprah Winfrey is respected because of the kind of life she has led and the kind of achievements she has achieved. And I think that if any man gets married to such a woman, he'll be very proud to say, I have gotten married to a wife.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, Coach B, fire on, please. Coach B, fire on. I want you to address.
Go ahead.
I do not. Yeah, Coach B, you go on.
Yeah, I think using the example of Oprah Winfrey kind of gives me the idea of that's someone women should look up to. I'm not saying everything about her is we should copy someone to the latter, but there are things about humans that you can see and aspire to be that kind of person. If you remember earlier, we said instead of thinking of marriage as an accomplishment, think of the things you want to do for yourself. Think of building yourself. Think of the diplomas you want to have. Think of the skills you want to learn. I see so many young girls back home now. Some of them are in pastries, some of them are makeup artists, some of them are content creators, and all of that. Those are the things you should be doing for yourself, preparing yourself for your king. And to Chef Dawai's point, this is the first time you've ever mentioned that you can be with one woman. And I'm glad you mentioned that there are women like that who can be 10 in one or 20 in one. But sometimes this woman just needs the right man to be able to reveal herself.
The right man is right here if she's washing. The right man is here. Right there.
Exactly. So you need to be a king, and this woman blossoms when she is loved and appreciated and given an opportunity. You all will agree with me that there are so many men out there that are suppressing the visions of women in the name of taking control, in the name of taking or being powerful. That's not the goal. When the Bible says we should go multiply, conquer the earth, conquering the earth doesn't mean there will be no civilization. The more you till
show a force of a woman, maybe man. Show your force to another man.
Yeah, of course. When you till the earth, it's called civilization. When you plant on the earth, it's civilization. So the world is bound to change, whether we like it or not. And if we want to welcome things from the West, we need to be able to triage those things. What is it that we want to take? What is it that we want to throw away? Just like our mothers used to make fufu corn, there was this grain of starch that they will filter and throw away and keep the nice one for the fufu at the end of the day. That's the same way to filter the things that are coming.
And even that kende, they use it somewhere to do perfume.
They use it to do something else. That's another form of recycling. So there's a lot we can do with what we're learning from the West or wherever we're learning it, because trust me, the West is also learning from us. I was talking about one of my co-workers who is about 67 years old. She is 67 and she just got married last year. And while we were in meetings, she keeps talking about her fiance. And with my African mentality, we are wired. We have been conditioned to feel that when a woman is above 30, she doesn't have any value. There's no way that woman will get a good marriage. Now she automatically gets into that pressure mode. And trust me, there are marriages that have been the best because the people were mature enough to stay in that marriage. And there have been marriages that have also been premature and have not lasted long. I'm not saying that if you marry young, there's a tendency that the marriage is going to fail. There's no golden rule to that. So if you marry late, there's no golden rule that that marriage is going to work. It's about preparedness. If you were prepared for the first 18 years of your life for marriage, you're going to have a successful marriage, provided you get married to someone who was prepared too. To lifestyle schooling. Who are we? What kind of men are we training? And what kind of women are we training?
Are we
Are we
training?
training women that will look at marriage as a place of building? Or are we training women that will look at marriage as an accomplishment or an achievement just because they want to wear a white dress and walk down the aisle? Marriage is way beyond walking down the aisle. It's way beyond giving birth to children. It's way beyond knowing your mother-in-law or knowing your father-in-law. I want to think that if I want to comment about the types of marriages that people choose, whether you're in a monogamous marriage or you're in a polygamous marriage or what kind of marriage you choose to be in, there is a huge probability that that marriage can fail if you're not determined to make it work. So even though the Bible says that monogamy was a beautiful thing, Jesus Christ talked about a man will leave his family and bind with his wife, a woman, and they will become one. Even if they become one and they don't have the same direction, they will depart halfway. So whether you choose polygamy or monogamy, do your work, prepare for that marriage, and make sure that you're driving to make the marriage successful so that it will be successful. If not, it's not going to be successful. So my girls, please, I don't want these guys to be talking about us in the manner I just heard a few minutes ago. Please, we should move away from the attitude of urgent 2K. If you want to ask 2K from some man, it should be probably to get a Momo business. It should be probably to empower you to buy something to start a business with.
Ask
I
for
believe that
capital
people can
business.
always help. But don't go asking for urgent 2K just because you want to go make your nails. You must not make those nails. There's a time for everything. And I've heard this a lot on different platforms, on TikTok, and it looks like it's a trend back home that women just go about asking for 2K from men. It's not a good representation of us. We are queens. We deserve more than that. 2K is not even enough for a woman. So I wanted to really call that out. I felt embarrassed as a woman because I believe that every woman has the potential to be great. We are well loaded and there's a lot in us that men can actually use to become better men. So let's not reduce ourselves.
A lot.
Let's not reduce ourselves to urgent 2K.
Prepare your business plan. You can't give a man, so you need 1 million, you need 2 million, or
Makes sense.
business you expand. Maybe candy as you start you send text, you need to go do your hair, you need all of that. Maybe I don't pass that stage. It was when I was still after that thing for down day, like when it was what used to matter. Yes, I will just satisfy you, keep you in that mode. But maturity and stuff don't hit, and we know say no. The real woman, not the one way it go first, ask you the man, what's your vision? Then she starts to look for a way to contribute towards that. That in this direction. So this direction, what do you think? She's sleeping. She's not even sleeping. She's thinking. Where the direction you're not thinking, that's the direction she's thinking at. And wherever you make mistake, because women are natural detectives. Yes, a man, a king can never be a king. You'll be a very scattered king without your queen. Yes, my businesses, my stuff are scattered. They are scattered because I'm yet to find that queen who come and put them together. I'm one man. There's so much I can do, but yet I'm limited. Yes, I know my potential. I know what is in me. I'm supposed to create trillion dollars worth of companies. But if I'm not able to find that right woman who go about doing management and coordinating, or if she comes limited, we can add onto them to make like 2, 3, 4, 5. But each and every one come in will not be an urgent 2K kind of woman. Will not be a, I need to go and do my nails. If you have to do your nails, do it yourself. You know you're running things and you're getting things done. I should be that man that I will hear, babe, this plan, I need to go Bamenda. Like right now, this your we have business where it talks you want to package beans. Give me 500,000, ma go Bamenda, some place where they sell beans. This one you're talking about rabbit or this, that's what growth, and the money comes, you're working, you know what you have as profit. Take from it, go do your hair and do what you want to do. But don't be that woman you just sit there say I'm living a baby girl kind of life, because he also said abortion and other because we have the spirit of Jezebel is taking over right now, is rising and is out there to destroy a lot of young girls. Yeah, you have men who are out there who only work money. A lot of men who keep themselves at the end because men seldom succeed before their 30s. And that's because their sexual energy is still very high. They have high libido. They just want to be tuma all the time. By the time they get to 30, they start thinking about building and stuff. And that's when they start having.
Coach B.
Thank you.
Oh la la. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we're getting you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I think that was quite very elaborate. I think that's very, very elaborate. So these are the topics that we can conclude because they vary from person to person, and different people have the way they see life, and it's okay to them. To some it's an achievement, to some it's not an achievement. But the good thing is you should not put yourself in a situation where you have to feel pressured or depressed over things you can't change. The key here, which I think, is be the right person, go to where you belong, and it's going to be very stupid for a monkey to try to swim, or for a fish to try to climb a tree. If you have the ability to swim, you go to where there's a water to swim. If you want to climb trees, you go to where there are trees. I think it's that elaborate and it's really, really smooth enough. I think we've had a very beautiful time having this wonderful conversation. And I think it's time for us to just shoot one word. I mean, let's give our final words before pack our bags out of the studio. I think we'll start with Son of Light. Is Son of Light there? To just give us a final word on this before pack our bags out of the studio.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Wincom. Yeah, I've been following up. I really enjoyed how everybody was speaking, from Coach B to Chef Dawai, Pastor, Life Spell, and I enjoyed everyone. And just what I want to say is, we as Africans, we should try as much as possible to understand that we have standards, and our standards are not evil. Let's put that in our mind. If we understand that we have standards that are not evil, we will always want to do the right thing. Not right because it is or what people are saying that is right, but by pure reasoning and using every factor and putting it in our context. Just like what Wincom was saying, it is going to be very, very stupid for a fish to attempt to climb a tree, and it's going to be very stupid for a bird to say he wants to swim. We must understand how we are calibrated. If we understand the notion of calibration, it varies from one continent to another, or one generation to another, kind of. And on this aspect of marriage being an achievement, I think it really depends on the individual. But at the end of the day, there is no all size of shoulder fits all. You will always have your own different view. I always have my own different view. But make sure you use the one that works well for you. If you use the one that works well for you and you're getting whatever thing you're getting, then it's good and fine. But let us allow nature to prevail. Let's stop fighting nature. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Son of Light. Now, Pastor Kaze, can you shoot some final words before pack out of the studio?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Son of Light, and every other person. I think what I would say is for every marriage to succeed, for every marriage to finally turn out to be an achievement, in quotes, is as Son of Light actually said, is know your configuration. Also, it must be consent, be it monogamy, polygamy, whatever. It must be consent, and you can't get into polygamous marriage if maybe the wives are not willing to be in a polygamous marriage. We should not also forget the fact that marriage does not concern only the man's decision, but also the lady's decision, because marriage does not complete. Even if we say the man is the head of the family, the woman has a very great role to contribute as well, and her say into it also matters. So I believe that for us to get to the point where we can say marriage is an achievement, it's the satisfaction we derive from finally being married. If you are satisfied with the person you are with, good. If you're not satisfied, then it's going to definitely be a failure, because we cannot also put aside the fact that achievement can be opposite to failure. So a marriage can as well fail. So as well it can succeed. I think that's what I can contribute in the end, because it becomes an achievement, which is actually true. But it is an achievement in another sense where marriage is not a price. It's not a price, but it's a series of responsibilities that you are ready to say, okay, I'm embarking myself on this responsibility to be able to achieve greatness in my life. Yeah, so that's what I'll say. Thank you very much, sir.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks so much, Pastor Azeye. Live spell. One final word before Paga banks out of the studio.
Thank you. My final words will go to our young sisters out there. What I would tell them is that they should not focus in this winds of feminism, of women trying to defend their right to say they are equal to men. I will say something in favor of them, of women, of our sisters, because I have noticed that a lot of women are doing things because they don't even understand their place. They don't know that they are the strongest. They don't know they are the strongest because they have lost connection to their origin. I will say this, ladies, you are not the world is trying to make you fight for equality with men. You cannot be equal to men because, to my humble opinion, you're superior to men. Superior in a lot of things. In a lot of things. Firstly, I will say, even biblically, spiritually, God created everything and ended the sixth day and rested on the seventh day. And the woman was the last creation of God. And after the last creation of God, God gave the mandate to woman to create, because the world is populated today because God gave that to women. That is a greater force that you cannot underestimate. Today, ladies don't understand the power they have in them, and they sell it very cheap. They sell it very cheap because they don't know what they have. And for them to understand the power they have as being a woman, they should understand that for them to be created, God had to make every man sleep. A deep sleep. When a man said, "Become you sleep deep sleep," it means that you did not know the time you slept, and you did not know the time you woke up. You will even ask that, today now when is today?
Yeah.
That is what God caused man to go, because the way he created man was a secret between him, and the way he created woman was a secret between him and woman. So today, I would like to use that to let our sisters know that they should not look for equality with men because they think that men have higher chances than them. No, they should not. And today, international and wealthy financial institutions have understood that. That is why go to every commercial business. There are some positions that men will never occupy. You will never see someone asking for sales boy needed. They always say sales girl.
Mhm.
Because in a business place, a lady coming towards you and suggesting you to buy a phone has a higher tendency of having 10 customers than a guy coming to suggest that phone to you, because there is this power in the creation of women that women themselves they don't understand. They don't understand. So I would like to say to our sisters, get back to your roots, understand the power you carry, because you can get into marriage, but marriage is not your achievement. Marriage is not your achievement. Determine your purpose, and your purpose can make you a leader. A leader in the place where your husband is going to be your support pillar. There are instances in the Bible where we have Esther, we have Ruth. They also had the men behind them, but they were the leaders. And there are a lot of women today who are leaders, and you will never hear them competing to be equal to men. They always know they are men. And to our brothers, to the boys, the boys out there, every guy out there, I will simply just tell them that they should do their assignments. Do your assignments, build your personality up, become the man that you want to become, and always understand something. Understand something, men. In every situation, you will see a man never making it up to his destiny or fulfilling his purpose is because one way or another he focused himself into women.
Mhm.
He focused. We have an example. We have Samson. We have many others in the Bible. And even in our world, there are presidents that who lose their presidencies because they used women to trap them. We should know that women have a particular power that a man should be prepared spiritually, mentally, physically, and in every cali that he can be prepared to be able to handle and manage the power God has invested in a woman. So today, my brothers, young
Yeah.
brothers out there, do your assignments, prepare yourselves, and get your wife, and you guys go and hit the world together and make it up strong for your glory and your purpose in life to be fulfilled. Your purpose is not to be married, but your purpose in life is to do something that is going to help humanity after you to succeed and achieve greatness. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. That's superb. Chef Daway, can you give us a final words?
Okay, dear people, thanks for being with us right up to the end. So before I leave you, marriage will not make you fulfill. Rather, before you get into any union, make sure you are being fulfilled. You're living a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
You're going to compliment someone, like where they are lacking and where you are lacking, they come in. And if you are already fulfilled as a man, you understand your purpose, and the woman does the same, you definitely you have a meeting point. You have a meeting point where you converge, you meet, and that's exactly where you're becoming one. The ideas, you're no longer living separate lives because the prescription is for two to become one. And for two to become one, there's bound to be compromise. You're ready for, you don't need a woman to come and clean your house because you are a man. That's something you need to learn to do yourself. You don't need a woman to come and cook food for you. Cooking, that cooking skill is a basic survival skill. I think in today's context, every human should know how to look for their own food. It's a natural thing. Even animals, the male and female look for food. So it's a natural thing. You should have all of that and make sure you yourself you feel complete before you are getting into that union. Before getting into that union, that union
Yeah.
is not coming to make you feel fulfilled or achieved. You should have you should have things going on in your life, and now you're meeting this person to complement and work in a direction to fulfill the purpose of your creator, and that's to prosper, because he wishes above everything for you to prosper and even for your soul to prosper, and that's for you to have peace, and that's for you to raise kids, not any kind of kid. You're not just to bring thieves, you're not just to bring slave queens, you're not just to bring baddies and stuff into the society, you're not just to bring to keep multiplying viruses in the society. You're supposed to go back to the drawing board and understand what it takes to raise kids, because at the end of the day, we'll look at the kids, then we'll judge. We'll look at how happy you are in that marriage, we'll judge. We'll look at how prosperous you are, and we'll judge. So if polygamy is working for you, no one is being forced in it. Don't go and impose your own ideas on people, especially given the society we are living today. It will take some time for Africa, for the world to fully reset, and for everyone to come to understand that the ways of our ancestors were the ways of life. Like most of them, not all of them. They had diabolic things they used to do. If they could be deceived by the West, it means they got deceived within Africa. So they have a lot of traditions and stuff that are evil, but we'll look at the good side of it. Before we finally reset the world, this current setting of the world, for you to be happy, for you to live a fulfilling life in marriage, you don't have parents who raise you and choose women, wives for you anymore. So you as a man, you should do your due diligence. Define what you want. It's not a must for you to get married.
Yeah.
Before you get married, you must learn. You must learn to be able to control your fallows. What's fallows? That thing that is dangling in between our legs. Yeah, you should be able to control it. You should not just be just giving your sexual energy to anyone, and you think marriage would be a safe escape route for you to just go and have a woman in the house to be doing that. What you'll be doing, you'll be changing the name from fornication. You change it from fornication. Maybe a pastor preached to you and you're tired of fornicating, and you're getting married in order not to fornicate. You'll be changing the name from fornication to adultery. But before you get married, you should be that man that if you've been knocking multiple women like that, try to abstain from sex for at least a year. You do your cleansing, you get to understand your sexual energy, you get to understand your purpose in life. Then now you can go out there and look for a woman who is doing the same. Don't just go and pick anyone, bro. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. Don't just go because, especially the ones with Brazilian, and they are not Africans. They are wannabe Peruvians, wannabe Chinese, Malaysians. They are in between. They don't know anything about Africanism, and they don't have time, which is the most important thing. They don't have time to grow and take care of their own natural hair. You look around the world, you will not find any race of women who do not love themselves, except the African woman who hates
Yeah.
herself that much. And she's the one who is rich, endowed. Her hair can be twisted. It could be Jericho, it could be coy, it could be straightened. If you can have whatever style you want to, because her hair is woolly. But the educational system given unto her deprive her of getting to know the joy of her glory, of her crown. So now she's confused, stuck in between. She's a wannabe Brazilian, a wannabe Peruvian, a wannabe Malaysian, and stuff like that. Girl,
You think
go for the natural, go for the natural ones. After you must have worked on your own self. Work on yourself, then you be a leader, because a man is supposed to lead. You're supposed to be a leader, showing her the way, showing her the way, showing her the way, and that's it. That's what I have to say. And for our sisters out there, you have a great role to play. There's no society without you, and that's why you're always the target. Right from the Garden of Eden, the devil came directly. When we talk devil, it's not some black man with horns and stuff like with long tail. The devil is white man. White man is the devil who came into the garden, and he targeted our sisters. He started with our great grandmother Eve, targeted her, and the same message. You could be greater or you could be equal. Is the same message the devils, white man, they are still preaching today. You're equal to a man. You can never be equal to a man, and a man can never be equal to you. We are here playing different roles. We are here serving different purposes. And for you to say you want to be equal with a man is for you to distort society. And for the man to be competing or comparing himself with you is still a distortion of society. We are all here to play our role. Play your role as the mother to give birth to the children. Play your role as a wife to give love to your husband, respect, support, and everything that comes with it. And play your role as a man by being a king, being a leader, and being the pathfinder, but not putting yourself in that position of superiority and looking at the woman to be inferior. That's where there's bound to be a problem. Now look at her to be your helpmate. She's there to help you, push you wherever necessary, and to be that hidden force behind your success. I rest my case. Thanks for listening, guys, and have a good night. Until next week, it's been your boy,
well,
Chef Daway.
of course, we have finally come to this point where we have to pack our bags out of the studio. I believe we all had the messages very clearly. Please, one more thing to our sisters that are in there that feel they are too aged. In as much as you have life, there's a possibility for you to unlearn and learn new things. That's why we are here. So you can actually unlearn some things and learn new things. There is no time limit for happiness. There is no time limit for fulfillment. Don't put yourself in the state where you start feeling desperate or start feeling bad. In that state, you start functioning on a negative.
One point I forgot, like the women,
Yeah.
30, 40. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
give up. Don't give up hope's day, because me, I can be 30 and I can get married to a woman who's 40. Yeah. Yes, because what they used to look at in
Yeah.
those days is
I
say
also.
these younger girls, because you have this guy, this pa in Nigeria who got married to Regina. He's going there probably
Yeah.
because we call it in pidgin Grish. Yes, you know Grish, doctor.
Something. Wait, is it the what is it intact?
Yes, they say Grish. So most men will go for Grish. But these days, these younger girls that are not, this Gen Z in general, they are not Grish again. They are not Grish. Before one reach 18, it already dig ball. When I use that word online, a lot of people come like, I respect women a lot, but I make distinction. When they say give, there's also misgiving. And when they say respect, there's that respect that is misplaced. It's not everyone deserves respect. Respect is something people earn. And when I talk about boreholes, I know what I mean. Boreholes, you get into them, you will not find wall to lean. Everything is just straight, straight, straight. There's no wall, nothing by the corner, nothing. The labia minora and majora, all done. So on those ones, I'll twist my face, I'll look them straight in the eyes, and I'll tell them. But when I meet my queen, I will not care if I'm a king. I'll bow to her because she's a queen.
Yeah.
And
oh my God! I don't know if you all can hear me.
They are without
The network is
sugarcoating directly. We don't care if Herodia will make Herod to cut our neck off. We don't care. That neck should go.
Yeah.
That's what it takes for our women to get back on track. We need them back on track. And all of us too will not make mistakes. We don't scatter. If I tell you my own story of scattering, so not just say you don't. It's about the retraction. Let's retract ourselves, and we redefine our purpose and stuff like that. We reconnect, and the ones where you think you feel reconsider and lessen your greed and ego for share a man with other women. Get into that understanding. It's very pertinent. It's imperative because all the other women where they know will get massa, you're encouraging them to become lesbians. Yeah. And in our African society, we don't want things like that. We want everyone to be straight, raise your own kids, and one man, if he can take care for all women, let him do the job. Let him do the job. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I want to just add one thing. Yeah, I just want to yeah. There is something. If they succeeded to make some of you see same-sex marriage as a normal thing, it means you can unlearn some things and learn new ones. You can't see same-sex marriage as a normal thing and see polygamy as a demonic thing. It doesn't sit right. So you can unlearn the notion you had maybe from childhood about polygamy being a very bad thing without even experimenting or understanding how to implement polygamy or even understanding polygamy in itself has misled a lot of people. Monogamy is a form of marriage. Polygamy is another form of marriage. So we should not have this judgmental approach on the choices people make. If you want to go for your monogamy, if that's what is okay for you, do it. But polygamy is a bad thing. Yes. Unlearn the judgmental ideologies you have about this particular pattern and tend to see it in another way. It is in every book and valid in even the spiritual books which you follow. So be ready to unlearn and learn new things. You are there sitting there, you might be even a second wife to someone, a good
network
one.
Is not greening, and we've been here now for 3 hours. Guys, it's been a pretty good one.
So,
a good one.
We're going to start from the studio. And those of you in Douala, before we go, those of you in Douala, we have something coming up in Douala. We have to link up on the 17th. On the 17th of August at the Afro All White. Yeah, we're
Put that flyer. Yeah, who wears the crown? Afro White Party. Yeah, we're still doing construction. Is where the location where the Chef Daway organic restaurant will be. We're still doing construction and renovation. This restaurant is actually a blend of what I used to have at China Mall and my second restaurant at Denver Bonamusadi. So I'm putting everything together, centralize the effort, and I pretty much want to grow my own crops, raise my own animals. Like people coming to eat in the restaurant, be able to get from the farm to the table kind of experience. Like you come, you
Yeah.
look at the fishes, you pick what you want, you weigh it, and we cook for you. You look at the rabbit or the nyamangoro, as they call it locally, or snails. You look at the palm tree tumbo, because we are more about health. Chef Daway Food Limited is not just like any other company. We are a Bantu movement. We're working with the spirit of Ubuntu. We want to give
Oh
people food.
yes.
Yeah, we want to give people food that will be able to heal not just their body, their minds, and soul. So we are going fully holistic. That's why we had to close from China Mall. Yes, we had to close from Bonamo Sadi, and we are concentrating efforts while still doing renovation as a business-oriented man that I am. My renovation, the kind of things that I standard that I keep, renovation can take like 3 months, right? So I just need to be doing something. Then we thought, myself and Wycombe, we thought about our queens. We thought about the natural
Oh
women
yes.
together with some other people here in Douala. We are putting this Afro White Party to spearhead our Bantu Ubuntu movement, blending everything together. So it get for hot, it get for
Oh yeah.
woro, you na back to back woto
You go
woto.
wuru. Oh yes. So see you all on the 17th. That should be Friday.
Yes.
17. No, rather Saturday. That
Saturday,
should be Saturday.
Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get for
See
hot.
you all this Saturday. Douala Makepe, Entre Poubelle. Yeah, it will be
Yes.
very, very hot. All right, it was a great time having you all. Let's pack our bags out of the studio. Stay glued to the page. Keep sharing contents. Keep sharing what we do. This is a whole community we're building, and definitely it's a very important one, filled with knowledge that will be impacting you and us as well. So stay glued.
Yeah.
Go nowhere. We'll be live again next week Sunday, and definitely on Saturday we're going to be streaming a whole
Victoria,
lot.
Victoria, don't forget my bushmeat from the village. Don't forget my bushmeat from the village, Victoria. That bushmeat where you make me lang out on some of Facebook.
All right, have a blessed night, people, and see you all next week.
See you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Good night to everyone.